A fella joins the Masons, and his wife gets a bit fed up with him. Keep coming home drunk, you see. And she said, well, next time you come home drunk, I'm going to leave you. Anyway, he says to his mates, in the Masons, he said, well, what am I going to do? So one of the blokes says, look, I had a similar problem. And he said, I puked up all over my jacket. He said, but I put a £20 note in my jacket pocket, and I told my wife that someone else had thrown up over my jacket, and here he gave me a £20 note to cover the cleaning bill. So he said, well, that's a good idea. Anyway, that night he gets absolutely blotto again, and he's a bit thick. He's not exactly the sharpest knife in the box, and he was one of these people that could get drunk but still look sober. So he comes home to his wife, and his jacket's covered in puke, where he's puked up over it, you see. And his wife says, oh, no. And he said, no. He said, look, someone else threw up over me. He said, and look, to prove it, there's the £20 note, a £20 note that you paid me for the cleaning bill. Then as he takes a £20 note out, another one drops out of his pocket. So his wife says, what's the other £20 note for? Oh, he said, another chap gave me £20 for shitting in my pants.
Some things cannot be unheard. That's bad.
That is sick, isn't it? That is a terrible one. Probably one of the worst ones so far. Oh, by the way, Ted, I haven't cracked your gag yet, but Ted's sending me a lot of gags. That wasn't one that Ted sent, because he's the joke merchant, Ted. He's supplying me with the gags, you see. But that isn't one. That was actually quite an old one, that gag. Anyway, tonight we have the Crankies. Evening, Crankies. Hey! Survival Steve and Nathan. And Nathan, we're actually going to get a doctor on the show, because he's actually got this problem where he's got a rose growing out of his head. You can see that. So can you see out of Survival Steve's head? It's a rose growing out of it.
I can't see because of the book.
And we got his Royal Hanorak. Evening, Rees Royal Hanorak.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, all gents.
Hello.
How are we all?
By the way, I've still got some dirty pictures of the 251 bus with full frontal engine. I'm showing that, just to sort of get it a bit worked up.
Can you get me that open topper you promised me?
Whoa. By the way, you notice the picture tonight is of a clown, a female clown. You see, there's a little bit of AI involved there. And did you hear the joke about the two cannibals that hit the Etta clown? One said to the other one afterwards, did that taste funny to you? Sorry, it's a terrible one, isn't it?
Dear. When are you going to start doing the jokes, Chris?
Right, tonight we got Robert. Hey! He's very keen tonight.
Good evening, Robert.
6:49. So, Robert, you can have a politician or celebrity of your choice that we'll do a two-finger salute to. So, as you were the first one on, Robert, you've got it. And there's a link to the studio. I'll send it through Telegram, mate. So if you want to come on a bit later, might get a bit crowded because you never know, because we're waiting for Vixen to come on. So you never know. And then we got, don't know who this geezer is. Never heard of him. Some troll, I think. I don't know. Anyway.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's every time, though. I mean, do we trust it?
Sue Sparkle. Good evening to everyone. Evening all. And then we got Hobie Kenobi. Hello, folks. Oh, Artudito. And then we got Deb. Hello, Deb. Good evening, everyone. Please remember to hit and shake. Share this. I was going to say shake this video. Share this video. Enjoy the show. You want to shake it? Oh, by the way, Deb's coming on. Hang on. When's Deb coming on? Got to look at my piece of paper. So I've got it all on my bit of paper here. Here we are. She's coming on 24th. That's not bad, is it? That's it.
That sounded familiar. That little noise.
What?
Yeah.
That's another story. Yeah, that's another story.
Then we got, hi Debs, looking forward to your national park mysteries coming soon. That's interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paul Mohammed, hello, good evening all. Hello, Paul. And
I'm on a game show here. You know, I have to go around all the contestants. Hello, I'm an engineer.
Where did you come from?
Evening, lads.
Yeah.
I think we just met. Yes, right. Yes, evening, Daisy. And this is the one I like. Asperger's as fudge. Aunt Sally. Oh, by the way, Aunt Sally, I've still got your cuttings. If you want me to take cuttings, because you want the cuttings from a plant, didn't you? It was it? I think it's cutting for a hogweed, and what was the other one? And poison ivy. Was it? No, joking. No, but now what we got here? We got. Can I select the entire Senate and House of Cretins as opposed to just one politician? Yes, you can have as many as you want. So, House of Cretins, here it goes. That's it. And bar, it's America, and it's a one finger. That's it. Right. So there we go. So I hope that's. I hope they're tuning in. There we go.
Sure.
I'm in and listening. That's Hatchy Hatchy. Well, I'm pleased to hear that. Now what we got? Now got the community guidelines up in chat. It's probably the end of me.
What have you said?
Good.
Oh yeah, Paul. Don't want to go to, but on Facebook, yeah, we can actually do something on Rumble if you don't mind the bleeding software going in and out occasionally.
Every week it seems at the
Every
moment.
week. That's part of the fun of the show, isn't it? I mean, last night it was run courtesy of What the Bloody Hell Do I Say Now? Because of the beginning of the show. I was thinking,
You don't think the algorithm's sort of checking up on us, do you? Maybe you should swap it week for week. So next week maybe do Rumble on the Monday and YouTube on the Sunday, and just see if that confuses it.
could do, yeah. We could swap them around. Trouble is, everybody bits get muddled, wouldn't it?
That's true.
I'm voting fuck them all. Next election, I'd be prepared. Yes.
As fuck 'em all propaganda minister, I have to say at this point is your fuck 'em wants you. Sign it now.
I can see it now. Your fucker needs you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. She's very formal. Yes, please, Eric Von Essex. I do still want those cuttings. I shall probably be going to Miles next week. Right? Oh, well, we'll say the time and I'll do my best, be on my best behaviour to either leave them with Miles or see you there. It's entirely up to you.
It's cuttings a code word.
What?
It's cuttings a code word.
Say that. It's funny you should
Yes,
say that.
spelling.
A little bit, yeah, a bit funny. That a bit funny, you know. Yes. So why not?
It's an eye control program.
Evening Lane.
Oh, he's got some new medicine in you.
Yeah, well, I can't complain about him. He's I had dealings with Miles last week for some something for my hernia I've got, and he sent
Don't
me
tell
out,
everybody; they'll be envious. Sorry.
He sent me out four pots of
Cuttings.
Go to cola. Yeah, cuttings. I'm posting to answer.
Code purpose banking. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, mate. We're just ignoring you because it's National Ignorance Day. I'm sorry. What was that you saying?
Who said that?
It's not every day in the UK.
So you were saying he sent you some stuff through, hasn't he?
Some go to cola, which helps improve my hernia, so I don't have to go into hospital with any luck.
Excellent. And I actually taken go to cola for this.
And has it worked?
Well, it's working. Yeah, it seems to be sort of, but it's quite good because you can go. Hang on, ping, ping. It's all like springy. So you can use it like a sort of a bow and arrow, boing. You know.
That's the problem with my hernia then. I'm going to wake up in the morning and find ants used it as a trampoline.
Don't expect miracles overnight. It does take a bit of time, but go to cola. Yes, and I wonder why. Did he also send you? What's that stuff? What did they give you in the? What's that stuff they used to? no, from pineapple. What's it? But I can't think.
No,
of
he
the name
didn't
of
say me that. Whatever that is, no, he didn't.
it. Yeah. Oh,
If he did, I didn't see that on the pot.
well, I'm taking that and all. So can't think what it's called. But I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Can't remember it. But so I'm getting my finger extra pingy.
You'll have a full musical instrument in no time.
Good evening, everyone. Much love.
Hello, Louise.
Hello.
You're a naughty boy. Laugh out loud. 22. A very naughty boy. Then we got what else we got? Oh, we almost forgot. Marlene. Hello, Marlene. Hello.
Evening, Milane.
Entree to the rescue.
Mm.
Bromide. Oh, sorry, bromelain. Does it have
What
the
happens
same
if you get the
effect?
two confused, though? I mean, there's one poison, the other one heals you. So.
Does it have the same effect, bromelain, as bromide? Because Now, hang on. We've got Barefoot Forager.
Hello.
Is the
We got
gutter
that, don't we?
cola really for your hernia?
It is.
Okay. And then we got here bromelain. That's right. Yes. I swear by it. I swear at it sometimes. In fact, I've just taken me bromelain because you've got to take it between meals, you see. So there it is. Now, tonight, seriously funny. Things are seriously funny, aren't they? Like the World Economic Forum, they're seriously funny. Charlie Boy, I think he's converted to either North Sea gas or Islam or some bloody blam. I don't know. Sorry, it didn't mean anything rude to people in the Middle East or of that religion, because I thought it was his lamb. So he's converted to his lamb. Is he getting New Zealand lamb or British lamb? I don't know. So
Larry the Lamb.
or Larry the Lamb. You just don't know, you see. But I'm sure Muslims will be able to laugh along with that as well.
Or if he's from New Zealand, it would be Marry the Lamb. Maybe.
Larry the
Anyway,
that's it.
Marry
Yeah.
the Lamb.
And hang on a minute. No, it says here. Marlene says bromelain helps inflammation. Now it says here. What's it? It as if they are bored. It as if they are, don't get that one. No, missed it. Stewie, hello, Stewie.
Is that what he's saying? Do we look bored?
I don't know.
We're not entertaining enough. Like we need a clown outfit, Steve.
Looking smart. Well, the reason, looking smart, like. Well, the reason I'm looking smart, you see, we're going to have a lot of attractive young ladies coming on the show soon. So stay tuned. Or we might do. I don't know. So I always like to got to be best. Yeah, I think I remember the deodorant, so I'm all right there. So
No television on this show.
Well, I went down and got some cheap deodorant. It's called Channel, not Chanel. Channel. It smells like a canal as well.
That's why they say change the channel.
That's right. Anyway, I believe
it's from the channel.
Right now tonight, I think you've got an announcement to make before we start the show. Sort of.
We'll go for a quick plug here.
Okay, shall I have a quick flash? Why not? Ready?
Steady,
1, 2, 3.
There we go. With some weird bloke. So yeah, just a quick plug. I know it's very short notice, but if anyone can get to Gosforth by this Wednesday, there's a talk. And then a chat, question and answer, and it'll be fun. So if anyone wants to come along to that, take a screenshot, and come along.
That's right. Would you like a banner going along the bottom of who to contact? Shall I put the phone number down on the banner?
You can do, yeah. I mean, if somebody wants to see it, just take a photograph or a screenshot or something. But anyone, if anyone can make it, you're all welcome. Yeah.
So Christine, hang on a minute. 0191 691. There we are.
Chris, I'll be back in a minute. So you're going to go downstairs. 1 sec.
Okay. Right. Here we go. Add banner. Have I added banner? Yes. Here we go. Here it is.
Oh,
That's-
nice.
Professional.
So,
You've
here we go.
upgraded from your piece of paper. I'm impressed. So,
That's okay. So we got here, and how to make take your sovereignty back. A presentation by the occult researcher and author of Fake Awake, Nathan Lucius. Signed copies of the book will be available on the evening. And will you be giving away the Wonder Pen, the famous Wonder Pen?
the Wonder Pen. No.
Yeah, we got the Wonder Pen, and we got the Wonder
The
mug.
Wonder Cup.
Yeah, the Wonder Cup. We wonder if it's still a cup. I think is more correct for that, isn't it?
Wonder
Mine's
Cup.
more like a vase.
That's a good
Mine's a
idea.
The cup's usually got handles, but as you can see, this is a very sleek design.
Yes.
It's a new patent.
Well, it's a survival one. You can put it in your rucksack, can't you? So if you had a
Yeah.
hand in it, you won't be able to put it in your rucksack. So
They
there
get
you
in the
go.
way, don't the handles?
I think yours could chop down the trees, though, Eric, in its current condition. It's,
Well, hang on. Hang on. Here we go. There we are. We'll give you everybody a quick flash a little bit later as well. Because my one is,
let's point it out.
but I'm going to herald out the bastard. So that it's all right.
I can't look at that. I can't. It's too painful now. Two in 1 week.
He made them himself, you know, on his little pottery wheel in the garage.
That's right. Right. So, what we are we? Now, what was we get? Now we've got Aunt Sally. Hang on. Greetings from Wigan. Paul Green. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Oh, Paul.
And we got here the big chaps, not just mentioned in power, allegedly. They are the one that are bored. Are they? Are they really? Oh well. Now, it says, Aunt Sally, oh my God, I'm naive. Cuttings. I get it, obviously. Not had the experience. I thought that was something Chris the gardener got up to. Laugh out.
Oh, is that why he's called Chris the Gardener? Oh.
Yes. Well,
Special gardener.
Can he tell us a bit about it?
Oh, bloody hell. This is
About
twice
what?
in 1 night. This is all cryptic.
Now,
Yeah.
we've had the competition for the hard of thinking, and only for people who wear masks. And it is, what is Chris the Gardener's occupation? Very difficult for them.
I'm thinking he's a politician in disguise.
I think
Maybe he might be a government mole.
He could be. You never know.
It'd be more appropriate to say it's a government plant. Sorry. I've been this morning.
Right, so we're looking at seriously funny. The world is a stage, as what's his name, Bill Shakespeare said, and it is bloody funny, isn't it? Really, when you come to think about it. I mean, if you just burst into laughter, what could they do? And I did hear a story of when I think it was in the desert during World War II, when part of the German army was captured. You see, and they marched past. I think it was either Eisenhower or Churchill, and I think it was Churchill who was sitting there. And there was a German general who they captured, and he was in a staff car, but the bloody thing had either broken down or they'd run out of petrol. So it's the staff car, and there's these blokes pushing it, and he's sitting there, and he looked round, and he grinned, and Churchill grinned back, and they both just laughed. They just, because you imagine this scene, this general sitting in a car, staff car, and there's all these poor sods pushing it, you know. I suppose, you know, you can imagine things like, but there are funny things that there's a lot of fun in and seriousness, because when you look at what's happened, you think about it. A couple of years ago, they're very worried about our health. We all had to stand away from each other. We all had to, and all that. But now, in Ukraine, they can't give a shit about your health. Yes, send your sons to Ukraine. So isn't it strange, isn't it, that
let's just stand closer together in Ukraine, right? So we can get mowed down.
Yes. Do you have to stand 6 foot apart in Ukraine so you don't catch anything nasty? And what about the environment? You see, are they going to sort of start having sort of, I don't know, bomb sucking machines so that when these explosions happen, the bombs, hang on a minute, we've got to suck all the explosions because we don't want to damage the environment. When you think a tank damages the environment, are they going to have electric tanks? You know, can you imagine?
Yeah, that's what they need.
The E-tank.
That's right.
E-tanks.
Yeah, can sort of say, right, do not attack yet. We've got another 3 hours to charge our tanks, please. Can you hold back with your firing?
Have a curfew every night.
Yeah.
Home, lads. Time to go charge your tanks up.
And are they going to have
To be fair, Anorak, it could be worse. It could be in a Reaver tank, you know, and then it'd never turn up.
Yeah.
A Reaver are crap, aren't they? I'm sorry, I have to say that they are crap.
Just a lot.
They have their moments.
Well,
Isn't that your favourite colour, Scream Anorak? A Reaver, or have you got another preference?
I like buses in general, to be honest with you. Old, new, not electric though. I was down London on Saturday, and mainly for trains this time. But I had a trip on an electric bus from Bromley North to Croydon, and I have to say that I don't know if any of you use public transport, if you use buses over the years.
Unfortunately,
When you're on a diesel-powered vehicle, you get used to the sounds it makes, and it tells you, like for example, if he's going to jam the brakes on, you can work out from the engine sound and the gearbox and what it's going to do. This electric vehicle is completely silent, and he was approaching a set of lights, and as he got fairly close, it went to amber, and he jammed the brakes on, but nobody was aware it was stopping it. It just stopped. They're dangerous. I think electric vehicles are dangerous.
I agree. I think they're very dangerous. And
We should
also,
set them all on fire.
we do that on our own, mate. It's automatic.
They're famous for that.
there's two people down my cul-de-sac that's got electric vehicles, and you can actually sense the weight of them as they come past. They're like bloody lorries. They're so heavy. And one parks it on their drive, and the other one parks it on sort of. He's got a load of vehicles and parks it half on the pavement and half on the road, and it's sinking in because it's tarmac. It's not paving slabs. It's actually sinking in the bloody paving. That's how heavy it is.
Wow.
It's like a sodding tank. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But
the thing is with the bus world, it's the only operators who are getting these electric buses are operators where they're within a PTE area. So, for example, you guys up in Newcastle, you've got Nexus as the transport executive for the metro, the buses, and so on. Well, it's those areas that are getting electric vehicles because they're being basically forced onto them by a leasing company. Outside of those areas, the bus operators are actually purchasing diesel buses still. They're not buying electrics because they know they're crap. They've got such a short lifespan.
it's like a shaver. Now I want to buy a shaver. All you can get is these bloody battery ones that you charge up. I mean, the old-fashioned plug in the bleeding socket, it works and works and works. I mean, I've got one that's about 20 years old, but it's getting a bit blunt. Sort of, it's a bit like a sort of Japanese, what do they call it? So samurai things. Do you know to speak?
That was more Chinese than Japanese, I think.
Yes, because you know to speak Japanese, you've got to suffer from chilblains and constipation. Sort of.
You need some of those special cuttings off Miles.
Yes. But I actually use. Did I tell you? I hate public transport with a passion. I really do. But because I'm now old enough, don't tell anybody, for a free bus pass, I got one. Okay, so I thought, well, I might as well use the bloody thing. So now I live 3.5, almost 4 miles from the town. You see, okay, and it takes 15 minutes by car, 20 to 25 minutes by bike, depending on whether I've had spinach in the morning or not, and 35 minutes by bus. Do you know how long it took me to get home? 10 minutes short of 2 hours because no bus came along. Yeah, I was waiting and waiting and waiting. What the bloody hell are they up to? Nothing. And then suddenly 2 came along together. They're actually overtaking each other. What? I mean...
I'm not going to stick up for them, but to be fair, in most cases, it's usually car drivers that cause the problems.
This is not acceptable.
Disgusting. No.
Anurag, mate, I think you need some medical attention. I mean, you're sticking up for public transport.
But,
It's the whole thing of I guess the other issue with public transport and what makes it late is actually the people who get on them. So if you've
I see. This is divine gaslighting now, right? It's my fault.
Yeah.
I go for the bus. It didn't turn out it's my fault.
You wouldn't believe some of the things you see. I tell you.
I'll tell you. To be fair, mate, there might be some truth in that because they've got CCTVs on all the bus shelters now. So it's like they might see me coming up the road and go, "Got him." So yeah, it could be my fault.
Well, if you've used public transport at all, you'll know that they'll stand at the bus stop, and the bus will come along, pull in, they'll step on, and then they'll start looking for their pass. Or you think, well, you've been stuck at the freaking bus stop for 20 minutes. Couldn't you got your pass?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's things like that. That's what causes delays.
Also, women with buggies, baby buggies. So I was sitting there, and by the way, I did have a professional weirdo get on who was telling everybody that he's actually had something.
The medicine, the therapy.
But he's very, very ill. You see, and he had diarrhea, and he's going into great details of all his, shall we say, how he puked up, how he had to clean it up, and all that. While sitting on the bus, I don't particularly want to know. And he's actually standing in the main aisle, broadcasting and sort of kind of talking to himself as if he's giving a lecture on quality of puke, the lot. It was really delightful. I don't think, you know.
What you've misunderstood there, Chris, is that he was actually the driver. I was thinking, do not sit next to me. But I do never sit next to the window ever. Sit the seat adjacent to the main thoroughfare, and there's less likely of a weirdo sitting next to you because you have to move out to get the weirdo in. See, a little bit of. Because I was thinking, don't sit next to me. Please don't sit next to me.
but you know what they'll say? You're manifesting it towards yourself, Chris. You're drawing it towards you. The law of reverse. What is it? Law of reverse consequences.
Well, like attracts like, so loonies attract loonies.
See, this is a brilliant concept to me up in the northeast. I mean, loonies and weirdos, we're all normal up here.
Come down here, that is a big fruitcake.
We have video evidence that suggests that's not entirely true.
Right, so
the secret is safe with me.
Now, the other thing I was going to say about Seriously Funny, they've been on and on and on for a year so far. Bojo and all this about going to war with Ukraine. I feel like saying, get on with it then. Piss about, you know. It's fearful.
No action.
Yeah, you know. And,
come on, lads, go and fight each other. Get stuck in.
Because what I've seen of Russia, I wouldn't mind Putin taking over here. It might be all right. So get the old white flag ready, way hands up, and that's it, you know. But I mean, we have cheap fuel, cheap oil. Just think about that. So because the Ruskies get cheap fuel, natural gas. Well, you get plenty of that with nerves, and so less fear porn. So there's a lot of advantages, you know.
If we get invaded as well, we'll become less communist.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but
yeah. Well, we are already getting invaded, aren't we? Really, with people on rubber boats, but we can't stop them.
Yeah. Well, I have changed my stance somewhat. I know I'm the fucking whole defence minister, and I've got a bit of an anti-war kind of stance. But now that I've got shares in BlackRock, I'm all up for it. Come on, lads.
Yeah,
that's it. Yourselves across it. I can't wait for the peacekeeping. But why do they need guns for peacekeeping? I don't get it.
No.
If they want to do peacekeeping, why are they sending the army? What's that all about? It doesn't make sense.
Send a ton of white flags and a food parcel from
fighting for peace is like screwing for virginity, isn't it? Really, when you come to think about it.
I like that policy though. I think that was actually enacted by the. Can I say Mormons? In there? No.
Well, we know that all wars are choreographed by the parasitic elite, aren't they? Let's be honest. I mean,
That's right.
That's a conspiracy.
It is. It'll be true in 6 months.
I actually think we should have an eco gun. I think I better not. Okay, this is top secret. Fockham's top secret. Where you press the trigger, a little stick comes out with a little flag on it. It says "bang," and that would actually save the eco, wouldn't it? You know. Well, first rule of defence or attack is surprise, isn't it? And that would be a surprise, wouldn't it? If the enemy get someone
it would, especially if you're looking in the mirror, because it'll say "goodnab." What's goodnab?
I think we should have a truth gun, and we should just go on a random truth gun shooting spree. Can you imagine how crazy the world will become if everyone starts speaking the truth? It'll be like an alien planet.
Good point. Anyway, back in chat, we got here. Actually says, I don't wish ill of Chris the gardener. Oh, you've guessed his occupation. However, what he like with a bitter willow. Whoa, bitter willow, yeah. We've got Paul Mohammed said, if you have a Ukrainian person living in your house, you are partly exempt from council tax. Well, where I live, you're fully exempt from you don't have to pay extra for a Ukrainian. If you haven't got one living in your
Can you
house.
just identify as a Ukrainian?
Man, that's a bloody good idea, isn't it? I could identify.
Well, like pass them on, and then so technically, if they live with you for a week.
Not only that, we've all seen those adverts for the "Do you like Ukrainian women?"
Yes.
I'm remaining impartial to that one.
Well, hang on. If I've got a couple of Jaffas up my jumper, I could say I was a trans Ukrainian, and it would be prejudiced to pay council tax. I think I'm onto something there, yeah.
So if you're going to identify as a Ukrainian, I'm going to identify as somebody who was hosting a Ukrainian in your house.
It's a good idea, and you're not going to pay council tax.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And I think it's about bloody time we do that in.
I might stop paying as well, just so it's not to make you feel uncomfortable.
Well, to collaborate, just to help my feelings adjust. Because I can be a snowflake as well.
Does that mean, Chris, that your Ukrainian name would be Eric von Kiev or something like that? Or
yes. Yeah, that's an idea, isn't it? And I could actually have a picture of Zelensky, the bandit there with the kisses all round the picture, to show loyalty and all that crap,
Your first client.
Yeah.
I've put Zelensky as one of my top 10 favourite millionaires.
Yeah. He's going to live in Charlie's house soon, isn't he? Because Charlie, I think, has sold one of his houses to him.
High Grove, I believe. That was only 20 million quid, so,
Oh,
you can blame him.
He's multi-talented.
Spare change.
He can play the piano.
With his what's it?
Yeah.
And
he deserves 11 million pound a year or whatever he's on, because he is one of the best actors in the Ukraine. He's acted as the president for long enough.
Well, do you know he played the piano with his plonker? He got very upset when a woman complained about it. He gave her a mouthful.
He should be.
He must have done a great job then, Anyway. Put something in the water. I don't know what they've done to me.
You had the sperm bank joke, haven't you? I said the other week, but big cure blokes outside the sperm bank, you see, and there's a woman standing there. And for this is, everybody's sort of trying to give their what do they call it, a sample or whatever. And he said, "What are you doing here?" She went, sorry. Right. It can't beat a steam train. Are we into kinky stuff again? I don't know. It might burn your bits on that. I don't know.
That's in 15 years when we've been back to the Stone Age.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like a Chinese firework can take your eye out. What the fuck them all Wonder pencil? Now we got. Oh no, hang on. You got the Wonder pen, haven't you? Nathan? You got the Wonder Pen?
Has anyone ever seen one of these wonder pens, or was it only for special guests?
Oh wow!
Or occasions.
Oh, it's downstairs. Sod it. It's not up here. Oh, it's a shame. Now it says, Louise Wilcox says, Paul Mohammed, of course they have to give an incentive for people to take in 3 strangers they import. Shame they don't give the same incentive to house our homeless people, especially ex-military people. And there was a bloke in Hoddesdon. Ooh, was it soon after Christmas or before? Sorry about that time, Christmas time. And he was sitting there. He wasn't begging as such. He was just sitting there. And you could tell by, I don't know, can you do this, Steve? You could tell an ex-military person. Something by their stature. Was it shoulders or something? And I gave Josh. He was very appreciative. But it shouldn't be like that. And it was like that after the First World War. Not so much, I don't think, after the Second World War, but it was like that after the First World War, people begging. Now, it says here, Paul Mohammed said, electric buses are okay, only if they're full. Plenty of people to push. What I don't like is, I mean, I rate my hearing as pretty okay. I was walking across the car park in Home Base, a couple of years back, and I had this sense that something's behind me. I look around, there's a bonnet of a car. It's a bloody electric car. Just didn't hear it. It was a windy day. Yeah. And if there's traffic, noise of traffic, I just did not hear it at all. But I don't like battery cars. The reason they've never caught on is because they're crap. You know, if they had little... But the reason... If you had, like the French had an idea, where you had 1-seater cars to take you 20, 30 miles down to the shops, get your shopping, come back, go, fine, I ain't got a problem with that. If they're electric, absolutely perfect. But come on,
until it blows up, I mean, you know, there is
well, that's it. That's right there.
The only things that should be electric are trains and milk floats. That's it.
Yes.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, they were diesel electric, weren't they? The choo-choo trains, you know.
Yeah, although you got obviously suburban trains are all electric powered from however many decades ago. But yeah, those are the only things that should be electric.
But I always remember there was a logo. There was an advert for when it was British Rail. Let the train take the strain. Do you remember that advert? Let the train take the strain. And somebody had doctored a poster, and it said, "Let the train take the strain." And somebody got a picture of a dog easing itself and stuck it over the train. Let the train take the strain. Now, you mean the Teslas with boots that chop people's fingers off and where the wheels fall off when driving along aren't totally safe? Yeah.
So I've got an anecdote for that, actually. So you remember when we had them really strong winds a couple of months back?
Yeah.
Right. So I think I was actually coming up here to see Steve, and the traffic in Middlesbrough had come to a halt. They couldn't get the coach out or anything, and it was a Tesla that had been upturned by the wind right in the middle of the road. Yeah, it's because the driver went. He said, "You know, that's a Tesla as well." I was like, "Yeah, it's quite." So there you go.
Well, I'm not happy about having 2 electric battery cars near where I live, because if they go up, they could sort of affect my house, which I'm not too happy about, you know.
Also,
now, they're all lithium battery, though. I mean, it's the batteries in the car, the lithium batteries, aren't they? Right. So lithium, your phone with the lithium battery, apparently it's got an explosion radius of 2 meters if it goes off. So can you imagine the size of the one in the car?
Bloody hell!
But also, you have to think about the radiation that comes off them as well, because I guess we all know about EMFs, electromagnetic field, or whatever it is. And one thing I must check is what the radiation level is off these these buses, the electric buses, because I notice also on our new trains now they've got screens telling people what the next station is, even though the train's got windows so you can see where you are. And they're sat literally just above your head, which I'm wondering if there's any radiation coming off them as well.
That's a good point. You can get radiation meters. I've got one actually from eBay at about £7, 7 or 8 quid. Pretty good though. Yeah. So
well, actually, in the buses, they've all got Wi-Fi and USB ports on the back of the seats. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there was, you know, like mobile radiation bus. You know, it's
have you also
noticed
noticed
your destination and your final destination?
I've actually noticed, you see, it's a very simple thing to get on a bus. You step into the bus, show your pass, pay or whatever, then walk along and get down. Some people, it's a kind of intellectual challenge to them. They kind of spend ages sort of trying to get onto the bus and then sort of look, hang on, do I have to pay? How much, dear? What? What? And there was some woman, she wasn't that old, with 2 bags of shopping. Took about, it must have been 5 to 10 minutes to actually get herself from the pavement. She wasn't disabled, onto the bus. But I hasten to add, I'm back to motor car and push bike and walking, because last time I used the bus, it'd been quicker to bloody walk home.
But you can see why the buses run late now, can't you? You see what I mean? But it is funny watching people when they get on board, because you get elderly people who get on, pay their
that's it,
fare, and then hobble down the bus and look at that seat, look at that seat, look at that seat, and then sit there. You think, well, just fucking sit down.
But don't forget as well, you've got your resident DJ that always gets on. That's about between 20 and 40-year-old with his phone and seems to think we all want to listen to what he's watching.
Yes.
And then you've got your resident TikToker, which is 5-second memory bite. So don't forget those. It makes your journey really unenjoyable.
I might start getting the bus. I didn't realise it was that entertaining. Say again.
And that's just the driver.
Yeah.
Also, the medical enthusiasts. I've been. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They had special buses in a certain European country.
There's special buses in.
Can't hear at the moment, Chris.
He's gone back in time.
The lights are on, but no one's at home. Say that again.
Oh, I think Rumble's had a word with YouTube. I think it's to us lads.
Buses
in what did we say? What's copyright? What have we done?
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Edio, are you there?
I'm still here, yeah. Yeah, well, what's happened?
How did you do the slow motion?
Have I dropped out or something?
Yeah. I thought it was some weirdo getting on a bus for a second then.
No, don't be daft. They don't wear headphones on the bus, mate. Come on, He's going in slow motion. This is quite fascinating.
It is.
He's like he's phasing out of this reality. Can you take us with you?
Nope, can't hear you.
What else happened? Something happening.
You said that.
Am I in slow?
Is this part of the act? Hey, the special effects department's really working hard tonight.
Not that I want a bonus for that. It looks like it's our show tonight. We'll welcome Chris when he comes back.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the show, folks. It's about to go off in about 10, 9.
Whatever you do, don't lick the screen. Would you allow Eric on your bus, Hannah?
I would, yes. He seems quite normal, although not this so most of the time.
I can still hear my.
Has he had the?
I mean, he's going slow enough. I mean, all he needs now is a bag of shopping. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back in spirit, mate. I mean, you're audible, kind of. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Huey, to do your words.
Right. Oh, that's good. Kiwi. Oh, that's it. I think it's got back again. So I've taken my camera, switched my camera off. So let's try it back on again. There we go. Yeah, I think we're all right. We're back on again. So am I now clear now? Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, weird, isn't it? God knows what's going on. But now it says here, what is it? Right now selling the electric buses to buy diesel and think how woke they are. Do you know anything about that,
Wow.
I don't, but I know that a lot of these big operators are getting rid of them fairly quickly and getting diesels in place of them. They're far. A diesel bus will last a lot longer. It'll do 20 years quite happily, not rather than 10 of the electric version, should we say.
I wonder where they'll sell them. Any idea?
They probably won't, because it'll be cheaper to actually. It's cheaper to buy a new bus than it is to replace the batteries on them. And the bus is £250,000 a piece, so it says how much the batteries are worth.
Wow! What is this? One of your hobbies?
Mine? Yeah. I like public transport and keep an eye on it. And
well, the buses around here are Y registered.
You want to keep them? They'll last a lot longer than these electric ones. Oh no!
Is this part of the cuttings? Who's been having those cuttings?
A registered sketbook says, "Hang on."
Is this like a week? Are you there?
STS. Are you there? Are you there? Reconciliation. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, that's it.
It's grim up here.
It's usually grim up north, but I think Newcastle, you get lovely weather up here compared to us.
Oh yeah, we're going to have to hijack this show. There's some strange goings on.
It's grim up there. Here. Well, I haven't been up there.
I wonder where Paul is. Paul Mohammed, where are you? I think you should take some cuttings and come back.
I think the Matrix hasn't, to be fair. I think it's absorbing him as we speak. He's going to be a Smith in a minute.
We're going with it. It all seems to be okay here.
Oh, now he's got the Matrix volume. Oh, he's got it. Right, okay.
Yeah, that's it. We come back again. That's it.
We can hear you now. That's maybe
right. I'm in the bath. That could be it. It could be it. It says, I'm in the bath. I'm 62 Action Man. Was it? I'm 62 Action Man. He's floating around me in his dinghy with his flippers. Where did it all go wrong?
Hey, well, if you keep it all,
yes.
If you keep your Action Man long enough, you'll be able to get a room in a hotel paid for by us.
Right, it says here. I think it's Zimmer Frame Man now, isn't it? It's been out so long. Peacekeepers work at home. Peacekeepers work at home, whereas the army work away from home. In fact, they're all mercenaries. That's a good point, isn't it? Whatever it says.
Oh, I was a mercenary. When I was a soldier, I was definitely mercenary. That's what we call ourselves. So yeah, I agree.
You're being paid to kill, aren't you? You're not being conscripted, and you're not
allegedly.
You're not being allegedly.
Crap blokes, mercenaries.
We need to win the ball, don't we, to get in touch with them.
It's all the same to me. I mean, I can't understand what Ukrainians or blokes from Teesside say.
Well, okay, two problems with it. Hang on. She'll know what I mean by this. This is revenge. You spelled Teesside wrong. You spelled Teesside wrong. Secondly, people from Teesside don't know what people from Teesside are saying. There you go.
and people from outside of Teesside don't even know what Teesside means. Never mind what they say.
I'd be offended, but I agree with you totally. Yeah. I mean, you probably need an interpreter at that point. But
for those still confused, Teesside is a region in the northeast.
It is.
It's between Yorkshire, the good bit, and then you skip Teesside and Sunderland, and then you go to Newcastle, which is another good bit, and then you got Northumbria and Cumbria. So you're all right.
Well, what I can say is that years ago I popped to Stockton-on-Tees. You know Stockton-on-Tees? Tell me about it. Me and a mate, we went to have some locomotives in a scrapyard on the outskirts of the town, and we to take some shots. And a pub went up in flames literally within minutes of being there.
Soapbox Radio. Right, here we go. Are you back? Are you with us? Can you hear us?
Well, we've been here the whole time,
now-
mate. We were talking about the
No,
meth
no,
addicts in Seaside.
I was just doing Stockton's tourist information board.
Was it the best holiday you've ever had? Stockton on Tees, number one
Stockton on
holiday
Tees.
destination.
Indeed. If you
Council
want to see
tax-
pub go up in flames,
We've lost our name as well. Crankies and
Council
we chose the
tax
right name,
is a
that's
big
why.
one. Trust me, I'm in it up to my neck, but haven't given up yet. The All Council is a private company, and they're registered with Dun & Bradstreet. So, because under the some Trading Act of 1880 something, you've got to receive a receipt, which they can't give you. So you say, I'm willing to pay on production of a receipt. And how can they take you to court if you're willing to pay? But by law, they've got to give you a receipt, which they can't do. So you got them over a barrel. So it's a little way of thinking, it's one way of thinking about it. Now, that's life but not as we know it. A nurse at a sperm bank asked if I'd do something in the cup. I said, well, I'm pretty good, but I don't think I'm ready to compete just yet.
Is that a YouTube joke or a Rumble joke?
Oh, God knows.
Maybe it's Rumble YouTube. Yeah.
Right. Do you remember the Monty Python sketch about the world's funniest joke? People would die laughing. This is DJ Flipped. They used it as a weapon against German troops who all dropped down dead laughing. Yes, I remember that because I had Hitler trying to do it, didn't he? He says, was it, my dog has no nose. How does it smell? Terrible. Sorry. That's right. Let's see if I can come back. Yeah, it seems to be okay because we dropped the signal. I don't know quite what happened earlier, but I think we're all back.
Welcome to the show, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I turned my camera off to save on bandwidth because there was something weird going on. I don't know what it was. They do less for the ex-military than they do. This is Louise Wilcox. They do for the homeless, and the reason being is if they keep them down, they won't have the heart or strength to fight against the system. That's right. My father went through that after the war. Yes, he was treated terrible. Now,
it's nice, isn't it?
Another one.
You serve your country, die for your country, get lose your limbs and God knows what. You come back and they thank you by saying, "Get on the street, we've got him to take care of you." It's disgusting, really. I mean, I know we've got a massive issue with like order followers and stuff, but that's disgusting. I mean, these people are getting shafted by the very people they're fighting for. So,
you
never see a politician on the front line, do you?
No. Well,
politicians on the desk,
Yeah, pen pushing whilst the people die for their dirty work.
Well,
one of Eric's pencils.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut out. Sorry, I didn't talk over you there. So I don't.
I'm just saying, if they're pencil pushers, they need one of your pencils.
That's it. Yes. Well, actually, if you go on to www.warveteran.co.uk and have a look down, you will find, if you look on that. Now, what's happening? You've got to look on that website on Firefox, not Google, because the links don't work on Google for some unknown reason. I don't know why. And what I was going to say is you'll hear my old dad, speaking about how the medical boards treated disabled veterans after World War II. And he was a victim of it. So you actually hear it, a recording of him talking about it. It's quite moving, actually. It says, you mentioned the First World War, but before it, we could travel unaided and after the passports and papers arrived. So tell me again what war was about. Yes, that's right. Before World War I, you could go anywhere you want in the world without a passport. Didn't need it. And
that was also true in 9/11, wasn't it? 9/11 happened, and then all of a sudden you get strip searched and a hand up your ass every time you go through an airport
That's
Hopefully,
right.
To be fair, that might have increased traffic at some point. So, it's,
Yes.
Next.
Next, that's it. Time flies by when you're a driver of a train. Yes, I suppose it does, really, doesn't it? Yes. Stephen Trusick, hello, Cooey. Right, it says here, this is Patrick. Hello, Patrick. If you get in trouble, identify as a LGBT man. I won't say the words, that man, and they'll leave you alone. Yes, yes. You got to be a minority group, and they'll leave you alone. You see.
Well,
I tried
now,
that
it says
once.
here, I can't never get those.
well, mate, I mean, I still identify as a one
Same here, yeah.
lesbian, so it's you know.
well, I often wonder if, I don't know if like your council bins, like you've got one for your recycling, one for your green waste. If you put a sign on the
Yeah.
green bin that says "I identify as a recycling bin," wouldn't they actually empty that one instead?
That's a good point, isn't it? I tell you something. If you like Monty Python and if you like Basil Fawlty, go to Waltham Abbey Post Office. You've never met people. Well, there's a woman in there. Absolutely. What she does, she antagonises. Allegedly, and she. There's something. I think there's something mentally wrong with her. And when you go in there, if you're polite to her, she looks. She's really haughty. You know, she's just like Basil Fawlty. That is Waltham Abbey Post Office. Is anybody else who's around there has found that Waltham Abbey Post Office is one of the most miserable post offices ever? What do you want? You know.
She might be
I walked
listening
in
in.
there. Good. Hope she is. Are we talking
Next
train
deal stabs
loonies?
bad.
No. Well, we were talking about bus loonies earlier, and actually, you'd know the answer to this, Harry. Do bus companies employ loonies to take people's minds off the dreadful sort of driving or something like that? Are they sort of employed by the bus company?
No. When they build the buses, the bus operator actually specifies what sort of lunatic they want on board with the bus. That's why you get one with every bus, see?
That's interesting.
Especially Arriva, they
Good
pay
point.
extra for theirs.
It's SDS then.
Oh, they're good quality nutters. Move over while SDS takes over. Who's SDS? SDS. No, sorry,
We
mate.
meant SCS. We'll get.
I mean, yeah. SDS.
Sure.
No. Now it's just last time I got on a bus, I could have walked quicker. They don't travel in straight lines. Yeah, you're right. It can walk bleeding quicker and all. Life as we know, it's got a delay. Has it really?
Ah,
I think that
here
was
we're
you,
thinking
mate.
we're trapped in the Matrix. Can I
be.
tell you a bus loony story?
Certainly. I look forward to a bus loony story.
Ah, right. Oh, yes, I'm picking up on the delay now. I'm seeing it. Well, let me tell you a bus loony story. It was a couple of years ago during a certain health emergency, and I got on the bus to Newcastle, and I hope the driver's listening in because I was really kind to him. Anyway, it was really cold, and all the windows were open, and I'm thinking, I've just paid £2.60 for this single trip into Newcastle. And I'm starting to feel really cold. So I went to shut the windows and they were all open. So I shut all the windows and everybody on the bus was starting to complain, thinking I was some sort of lunatic. Anyway, the driver shouted something and he sounded a little bit irate. So he stopped the bus at the next available bus stop and he stopped the engine. And he said he's not going to drive off until the windows are reopened. Anyway, I obviously failed to follow his instructions, so he opened the windows himself. And then, after a moment or two, he drove off again, where I shut all the windows again, much to his dismay. So, no, it didn't. So, I hope he's listening.
Good for you.
That's mad, though.
Yeah.
That's mad.
All the
I hope
nonsense
it's
during that
him. Stop
period.
me,
Yeah, yeah.
sod.
He's going again.
Wear extra layers to keep warm. Yeah, right. Because that's what you do. Yeah, you get on the bus. The heating. Yeah, well, but that's the thing. The heating's
But-
always on in the summer. You get on them and you bleed. It's like
Yeah,
a sauna on board.
But surely,
I noticed that, by the way. It's always hot in the summer and then cold in the winter. And they turn the heating off in the winter and all the windows are on. It's like, what's wrong with these crazy people? You know? I think we need to get an advertising campaign to get some new internet.
Yeah. We need a GoFundMe for a new computer.
We need to send him some 50 pences for the meter or something.
people,
Aye. Get about 3 hours for that
I don't
one.
know. It's something weird going on tonight. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I hope this works. There's something weird going on. Can you still hear me?
Doesn't it?
I don't know
Is it
what's
to do with
going
the
on
word
here.
bus? Because every time we say the word bus, you disappear off.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Can we change the transport? Should we talk about lorries instead? See if that
weird.
works.
It's HD now.
Got me back now. That's good. It's something about the bandwidth. I don't know what's going on tonight. I've turned the camera off to save on bandwidth. So I don't know what's happening with the router. You know, it should be all right. Now we got here. Where are we? Oh no.
Should we turn our camera off, or is this attracting viewers? Having us handsome guys talking on.
In our seemingly matching bloody tops,
Yeah.
that, you know.
And cups. Matching cups as well, isn't it?
I assume we've lost Mr. Von Erich.
I'm back again.
God.
Oh, welcome back, Chris.
He looks younger.
Something went wrong. It did go wrong. It just went tits up. It's really weird, isn't it?
It's like the blue screen of death, isn't it? You know, something went wrong. You have disappeared. Please restart your machine.
It's working better now. It seems to be
Yeah, except we can't hear you. Your volume's gone low, mate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, grandma's all
This
right.
screen picture's better.
Yeah.
Or even we look younger. Oh wait, no, we don't.
Well, don't go too close. It's all over.
Right, hang on. Turn my volume up. How's that? Is that better? Is that better?
Oh dear.
No.
Now?
Not really.
Right. Okay.
Just shout.
Hang on. I'll just go into settings and I'll just change my volume. I won't be a moment. Here we go.
Please don't let us have Lord of the Rings again.
Oh no, I don't think we have Lord of the Rings again. That was pissing me off last night. It's unbelievable. Here we are. Master volume. Right.
I'm sure it was calming music, but it really wasn't working.
How's that? Is that better?
Not really.
Yeah, about 0.1 of a millimetre better, yeah. No, mate, we can barely hear you.
Right.
It's quite bad.
Right, okay, don't worry. I'll
We've only got an hour, Chris, so no pressure.
Right, okay. Now,
The audience are going to start asking for refunds in a minute. This is.
Right, there's something really weird going on tonight. I don't know what it is, but something odd.
Let's say something nice about YouTube and see if they'll turn the volume up.
Right, how's that? Is that better? How's that better?
YouTube.
We think you're marvellous. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
You're far better than Rumble.
That's it. It actually something had done something to all my. I don't know what had happened. My microphone went funny. Everything. So we're back where we were now. So we got here. The nutter on the bus always sits next to me. I'm special. Things I've learned over the years.
They said to leave me alone. Then I always sit at the back, so they never get that far.
Well, I've actually found that over the wheels at the back is the best place to sit. Seriously, it is, because you know. Now it says Stephen Trusick says it's a momentary lapse, like the Pink Floyd experience. That's right. And now we've got Chris leave and rejoin. I've just leaved and rejoin. Now, so are people from Teesside Magnums?
Right. Okay. Right. Let's address this, shall we? Right. First point, you spelled Teesside wrong. Secondly, I'm not sure whether you're insulting Teesside or Mackems with that one. let's face it, they're just imitation Geordies, aren't they, Mackhams? You know, well, they are. I mean, they're not real Geordies, and we wouldn't want them in Teesside. I've got bad experiences with some, and leave that. Anyway, no, in answer to your question, but thank you for the inquiry.
I think, strictly speaking, the Mackhams are the kind and lovely residents of the city of Sunderland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mr. Newkie Brown's all over this.
They're not too kind or friendly.
Yeah,
in my experience. But,
yes.
We're Smuggies from Middlesbrough, by the way. So from Teesside, we're known as Smuggies. You can't tell these days because we just get chemtrails instead. So
no, you know, you're Fockhams. Sure, you're Fockhams because you're all part of a different country, aren't you? So you're all Fockhams. We're all Fockham here, and that's another thing. Aunt Sally. What are you minister of in Fockham? We don't know what Aunt Sally's, you know, is she...
Spanky Bottoms?
Yes. Shall we say minister of strip searching? Yeah, you just never know. Forestry.
Minister. Yeah, forestry, yeah.
Now, Barefoot Forager says, I think it should be spelled T-I. Oh, dear.
Well, there's that many people on drugs in Teesside. It might actually be, might at some point be called Teesside.
I like this one.
That's it.
I think I better not speak this out because we're on YouTube, but yes, I agree, yes.
We heard you.
Now, Stephen Truthseeker says, I take it Shitty Knickers Commie Starmer is going to war then. Well, he keeps talking about it, you know.
I suspect he won't be going to war.
No,
it sounds like Stephen
to die for him.
Mr. Starmer.
Can't imagine why. He's a lovely, outstanding bloke.
Now, the truth movement should be called the confused movement because there is no definition of what truth is or where it is going. I would actually describe it as happy, clappy, manic depressives. Cult. That's basically it. It's a cult, most of them, not all of them.
Don't get Nathan started. He'll start plugging his...
That's right.
I don't need to. I've got using my marketing department.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's
did you get one of those second-hand copies?
Oh,
the blurry edition.
I see. Yeah, the blurry edition. That's the second edition, right?
Yes, I got it in the pound shop. No, I'm joking.
You got ripped off, mate. It's rubbish.
I tell you what is a bloody good laugh is actually looking in the pound shop and all the shit, you know, my life story and all that. They had the people with complete failures, and someone said they saw Tony Blair's book in the pound shop. I don't know how true that is.
That was being sold as bog paper. Evening, Liz.
Hello, Liz. Oh, you obviously know Liz. Hello, Liz. And by the way, we haven't got Vixen on, have we? So shall we threaten Will to get some cucumber sandwiches and entice her on? Come on, Vixen, come on.
Give her a shout. Ask her if she can spell Teesside.
Yes.
I don't know how to spell Teesside.
Unbelievable.
T-E-A.
Nope. No, keep going. You're going for the grand prize, mate. You got one more shot.
I would say what I've seen. Would it be P-E-E-S-I-D-E, P-side? Because there seems to be a lot of, shall we say, strange stains up the walls, like round here.
Well, that's the meth heads, mate. You're getting that one confused. Oh my God, there is so many in stock. It's weird.
Now it says, Paul Mohammed says, whole system is designed to keep you weak. They constantly bombard you with nonsense. We I don't know what that's supposed to be. We got it, but it was so more subtle. But the one who came after are drunk on power that was handed to them by us. Well, that's right. Councils are a law unto themselves. You know, they're terrible. Now, I don't know what this is. Hi there, Liz. Well, that's right. Now I've got here. I'm buying a blue dress, actually, and identifying as a camel. At least I can spit And when questioned, for F's sake, what are we turning into? Yes, that's right.
Barbarians.
Yes.
If you're wearing
Second fall of Rome, maybe barbarians is the way to go. I don't know.
Like fish surfacing to feed, many mouths to no ears. Yes, yes. Now,
do you think he's as jaded with the truth movement as we are, or as I am? I can speak for myself. I don't think there is a truth movement.
No,
to be honest.
it's a cult. It's
Well,
actually. I think it's been infiltrated from without, not within.
Mm-hmm.
I think the media has done similar to what you're saying in the book. It's done a brilliant
I
job.
don't like saying that. I think it's been just infiltrated and ridiculed. There's that many psyops circulating within it. There's so many people now that are becoming adamant and vehement about certain views and instantly dismissing other views. That's not open-minded. It's not critical thinking, and so therefore we're not seeking the truth. We're looking for a new belief system. I'm not interested in that. If that's the truth movement, it can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can I add to that by just saying there is, and I'm putting my serious head on here. Can you tell my serious head? When I was a steely-eyed deliverer of death and destruction for a rather unsavory criminal organization identifying itself as a UK government, because I'm not sure if I can say that word on YouTube as much as we love them. But one thing I did learn, and this is probably something that Sun Tzu probably wrote about as well, the art of war. The selection and maintenance of the aim is the most important principle of warfare. So what the truth movement doesn't have is selection and maintenance of an aim. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing, so therefore we're so disjointed that our whole effect is pretty much intangible. So we need to have a common aim that we can all collectively partake in, and that aim should really be, as far as I'm concerned, as I've mentioned probably before on the show, and I know Nathan will adhere to, something called understanding the principles of natural law. It's simple, it's universal, it's something we can all adhere to, and we really need to get this into our kind of mindset and start portraying it out as we perform in the world. Natural law. Again, it's not probably, people probably be wondering what I'm talking about at this stage. So,
spot on.
I think the big challenge is, though, that we've had, as a truth movement, we've had such a short space of time to get into the truth world, as it were, whereas these tossers, should we say, have had thousands and thousands of years to prepare to this point. And we've had the last 5 years.
You might as well carry on with that, mate. It's I think we've gone.
Oh, YouTube didn't like it.
Oh yes. That's it. Oh, you're back again. They're definitely playing tricks tonight. I mean, normally StreamYard is as solid as a rock, and I'm getting similar to what I had on Rumble. I mean, but now it seems to be working okay. Now it's I've stopped, rejoined it, but keep our fingers crossed. But you're right about the truth movement, because I think what it is there is no real objective, and there's no real. I've noticed everybody is kind of depressed, and that's it. And really, to war is fought in the hearts and minds of people. So you've got to have an objective, number one, which you was quite right, Steve. You know more about this than I do, but also optimism. I mean, look at both world wars. People are optimistic that they're going to win. Both sides. We are going to win. And the only reason I think that the Allies won, apart from industrial might, is we had better propaganda than the Germans had. I mean, we could lie better than they could. That's as simple as that. And we're still doing it. They're still bloody brilliant at lying. That's it. But you see, this is the thing. And it seemed to me with truth is these movements is that they're waiting around for a leader to lead them out of the problems. And that leader doesn't come.
That would tell me that they're not on the right level of understanding. They're not where they need to be. So essentially what Steve and I are saying, and look, Mark Passio's been pushing this for years, and we're trying our very level best to get it out as well. Look, this is about freedom, right? And we're not free. And so
That's right.
what I say to people is, you cannot enslave a moral man. You cannot enslave a moral population that is well and properly educated. And natural law is the only education that will achieve that. It teaches you morality, correct thinking. It teaches you how to think. The process of logical deduction. It cuts out things like mind traps and cognitive biases. It helps people to literally critically think, which is different to what people actually think critical thinking is. They're not doing it. So if this is about freedom, then we are enslaved. And so the moral that I think, well, I'm just going to say it, we need unity of purpose. And as Steve said, what was the military term for unity of purpose?
It is selection and maintenance of the aim.
Thank you.
That's again, I'm speaking kind of NATO style doctrine, which is the principles of war, selection and maintenance of the aim, i.e., what is it you want to do? At the minute, the truth movement doesn't really know what it wants to do because it's got so many different factors kind of thrown into the mix, where it's essentially just turned people's brains into mush. And I mean, that's part of it, because what we've been faced with, certainly for the last 5 years, if not more, is something called cognitive warfare. And as you can probably deduce from that, that's a form of, it's a further insult to psychological warfare and information warfare and hybrid warfare. And these are factors that have enabled essentially a worldwide campaign to subvert humanity into a mindset of jelly.
So it's like MK Ultra that's been applied worldwide. Can I say that?
Well, that's the thing, though. It's the bombardment of all our senses as well, isn't it? I mean, you know, we talk about the weather on here, and you know, the last few days we've had actually some decent sunshine, some decent weather, not blanking it out all the time. And prior to that, we had October, November, December, January, where it was pretty much non-stop grey. So you get no vitamin D to boost your immune system to make you feel good, even if it's cold. It used to be nice on a winter's day when it was cold, but sunny.
It lifts people's spirits. It makes you know, when you see a sunny day, you can see things in you know, it makes you feel better. You've got your endorphins, your serotonin's flowing better. And they know that cutting this off is going to have an effect on passivity and depressiveness and all of this stuff, and it works.
And you have the motivation to want to go out when it's, I mean, all that thick, heavy fog over Christmas.
Oh,
nobody wanted to go out, and you would want, you know.
It was psychologically getting to us, but today it's been awful. It's been grey, overcast all day, and it got dark about an hour earlier than it should do. No, in fact, I'd say 2 hours earlier than it should do. It's been so grey.
Quite bizarre. It was very cold up here in Newcastle, and I mean, it's
same here.
It always is.
Yeah, it's cold down your way. So it's usually red hot up in Newcastle. I don't know if you know. I mean, this is why I live in the northeast. It's like being in the Caribbean.
Well, you're near Scarbados, aren't you? I mean, John Hamer's in Scarbados, isn't he? So I mean,
he's got it quite nice in Scarborough. I'll tell you, he's
Well, I live in a place called the Blythe Riviera.
Oh shit!
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a des res. I mean, it was at one time the drugs capital of the northeast, but luckily I live on the dealer's end. That's not why Nathan's visiting. I just thought I'd put that in there. But here's an important.
I neither accept nor deny that.
But here's an important point for everybody in the truth movement.
Yeah.
Right, and this is, I don't know if this is a Sun Tzu thing, but let's just say it is. Sun Tzu probably wrote this, a million years ago. Wars are won by the people who give up second. Don't give up first. That's my Sun Tzu style war fighting.
This is war motivation from the propaganda ministry of Fuckham Hall.
Yeah,
you're being told we need you. Yeah. Actually, we were talking the other day about the effectiveness of the truth movement. Again, using military terminology, there's a way to survey just how effective we are at the minute. Because you do that better than I can.
I know what we're talking about.
When you say, "Oh, come on, man, don't do that." When you survey the outcome of
battle damage assessments.
That's the one.
Yeah. If I was to put out, I mean, this is if I was to use military style terminology and product tools for determining certain things, if I was to do this on, let's just say, the truth community, and this is, this isn't really having a dig at that community. It's basically, this is a touch of reality. We are essentially at the losing seat.
Yeah.
If we were to apply this in a military style format of coming up with some sort of intelligence gathering formats, etc., we would be declared the losers at this juncture in time, which I'm sure anybody listening, and probably if they were being honest with themselves, they would agree. So we need to kind of change that dynamic. So that, for me, that's not a game changer, and that's not the final outcome. That's just, we know where we are. So what we do need to do is up our game and try different tactics, and try harnessing different effects to achieve, select and maintain that aim that we want, which is freedom. That's what our aim needs to be. It needs to be freedom. In fact, I'm gonna hijack somebody else's phrase. What we need to do in the truth movement and the wider communities outside of our kind of organization outfit is, we need to seek freedom under natural law. So natural law, for those who don't know it, we need to know that inside and out. But I would ask any viewers to have a look, just put in freedom under natural law on, let's say, YouTube, because I know there's some people out there doing conferences and education entitled Freedom Under Natural Law, which is available on I think the fourth, what's known as the funnel, FUNL4 has come out recently, and some of the talk is on there. Somebody like Chris Jansen, for example, he talks exclusively about natural law. That kind of information would be well worth looking into.
I agree with you. Absolutely spot on, because I've noticed
Lost it again.
also.
Right, tell them YouTube.
I've been to several of these truth groups, and this was a couple of years ago when I got flung out of one. And the thing is that I found that the small ones that are more rural are worlds apart from the urban type ones. Worlds apart. Very much nicer and more positive. More, things are going to get better. Whereas when you go to sort of more urban ones, I don't any longer because I don't really like clubs and groups and things, but when you go along to an urban, the first thing is always the same. They want to know your WhatsApp, what's on WhatsApp thing, or your Telegram, and then you get bombarded or your email with loads and loads and loads and loads of YouTube videos of people telling you what you want to hear. Whether they're controlled opposition or not, I don't know. Doctor this, Professor that, who's opened up about this and that. And again, they're looking for a leader. They're not prepared to do things themselves. And they're depressed. And this gets them even more depressed. And I've found that all the way through. It's just going round and round and round, rhetorical all the time. It doesn't get anywhere. Yeah. And that's a sad thing.
Isn't this where is it autodidactic? Or am I saying that? I don't know what I'm saying. Autodidactic. In other words, teach yourself this stuff. Go and learn it. You can be proficient in it. You just got to hammer it for a while, understand it, and figure out what's fact from fiction. Learn how to think. We're supposed to pride ourselves on being critical thinkers, and we're not. As a movement, we're really, really the opposite. So go and figure out the Trivium method. Go and teach yourself how to think, and then teach yourself about logical fallacies, cognitive biases, things like this, so that you know how to spot the signs of bollocks. Basically, if you're looking at it from that angle, you will be able to spot a lot of this psyop-induced social conditioning, if you want to call it that. There's a way to do it. It takes 6 months really to get to a level that you need to be in. Look, here's one for you all. I sound a bit like you there, Steve. Okay, right. Let's assume we have a countdown, because we do. We've got 4 years. And are we 9 months at the minute? 9
Yeah,
months. 4 years and 9 months, right? Let's put that out there. We have 4 years and 9 months because by 2030, their infrastructure is going to be up and running and it's going to be working. We are going to be enslaved. So what are you going to do with that 4 years and 9 months? Are you going to sit back and wait for your saviors? Are you going to argue about the shape of the earth? Are you going to talk about white hats and other various savior complexes? Or are you going to start doing something, realize that your freedom, your children's freedom's on the line, and actually, motivate yourself? It really is a contentious issue for me because is freedom not important anymore?
Exactly.
I don't get it.
I think what I will say is that the biggest challenge we've got is that in many cases it feels like we're all very isolated. So there's somebody here, somebody there, somebody there.
Yeah.
It's not as though you could walk out of here and if I walk to my next door neighbour, for example, he'd probably think, well, I don't know what you're on about. So the next person I may meet who is actually awake or fully awake may be at the Stanley Park on Sunday. And there's a group of 4 or 5 of us there who meet up on a regular basis, and we are, Milane included, and we talk about obviously what's going on in the world and how we get past all this stuff. And although I feel as though there's a lot more people moving on to our side, there's certainly the elements I see when I talk to people on trains and buses and whatever, and the overall consensus I'm finding is that more and more people are awake and seeing through the lies, but they don't know what to do from that point onwards.
Certainly politically, I think people are becoming more aware of the situation. I mean, the amount of people, even normies, if you want to call them that, calling this out as communism, and being concerned about what they're seeing. Yeah, there is a generalized awakening societally, but unfortunately, the way I see it, it's like a hen house with a bunch of headless chicken, running around in all different directions, claiming to have the answers. And yet there are answers there. People just think they know better.
So how do we all come together and be in unity with each other? Because I guess even in the truther community, I mean, I went to one of these truther things in Ridding in Derby, and they had various speakers on there, Alan Bridgen, whatever his name is, and Andrew Bridgen and Richard Vobers was there and all this sort of stuff. And they were still talking about the political world, and I thought, well, it only takes one politician or some billionaire to turn up and say, if I give you £100 million, will you change your agenda from this to that? And they're going to say yes. And also, it doesn't matter what party is it, what political party you're trying to get into, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. The biggest enemy of us is the mainstream media, because the mainstream media will put it down. Either they like you, or you're giving them money to you're giving them billions of pounds to say what you want them to say, or they'll shoot you down in flames, and it's neither, it's one or the other, isn't it? It's.
Well, I mean, the amount of trust in the media at the minute, again, just in the UK in general, they don't trust it. People have a distrust in the media, and that's a very positive thing. And yes, we do need to know what's going on politically, but that's not the issue at stake here. The issue at stake is your freedom. And so the answer that people are looking for, but they don't realise it. If you understand what the problem is, which is you're enslaved and you want freedom, and it's about to be completely taken from you, then the issue becomes about how do you get that back. And again, morality equals freedom. And it really is that simple. I know I'm writing on about this, but look, I've looked into this. Steve's looked into this. We know that this works. We know this is the problem. And if we can focus behind that, then everything becomes clear. Anything that goes against morality, anything that goes against our freedoms, that's the problem. And so then it becomes clear. Does that make sense? I know there's groups all over spouting difference. It's not to have a go at you. Again, we do need to look into this stuff, but we're running out of time. We can't keep flapping about it, mate.
I agree. And also, people are getting bogged down with fear porn. To me, it's just fear porn.
Oh,
fear
God,
porn,
yeah,
fear
that's
porn,
horrendous
fear
as
porn.
well.
They've been talking about, they're putting the shits up of all the youngsters by saying they're going to conscript them. I feel sorry for youngsters now. Then they're saying this, they're saying that, or this, that. And it's all the same crap. And I think what they've done, Truth Seeker, Stephen Truth Seeker says, I think the truth movement has been hexed. And I've actually found that they seem to be, this is the ones in urban areas, seem to be happy with their depression. But you go out of an urban area and you've got, as I say, a different mentality. And the reason why there's a different mentality, I think, is because most of them are from farming stock. And farmers have got to think for themselves. Whereas people in urban areas, they work for an employer, or they might be self-employed, yes, but they're still not. I can explain it. With a farmer, you're totally on your own. You're thinking for yourself. You look at bowler hat farmer. He's thinking for himself most of the time. Look at the yellow vests in France. They were mainly all farmers. They could think for themselves, and that's why governments go for farmers first. Communist governments do, because they know that they are the most dangerous, because they can think for, they got self-thought. They can work things out. Look at the Boer army at the Boer War in the early 1900s. Now, they kept the most advanced army in the world of that day, which was the British Army, literally at bay. They were beating them. And they were a fraction of the size. And how did they do it? They worked in groups of 3, and they didn't have the most modern weapons or anything like that. But number one, they were fighting on their home territory, which the British weren't. And number 2, there was no real rank as such. They were, and apparently the attitude was, well, I've got to go and milk the cows tonight, so someone else had better go along. So this is the thing. And this is what we need, is people to be more conditioned to think for themselves, not be selfish, but think for themselves, not look for a leader. I keep saying it all the time, and this is what I've found.
Yes.
Go to a truth movement in a urban area, they're looking for a leader. Go further out into the sticks, as I did, and they're not looking for a leader. Big difference, I found.
Yeah. So my take on that, I obviously come from a military perspective, and my take, and I used to use various products in order to come up to conclusions within the framework of a military organization, to come up with the effects that we wanted to deliver. In other words, it wasn't just a case of there's some baddies over there, so you send your guys with more people to go and shoot them. There's a lot more at stake there, but we are facing a different kind of combat. We are facing a combat of the mind. As I said, this is formally known as cognitive warfare. Cognitive warfare is affecting human psychology. Our war, if you like, is a spiritual war, and I've said it before. I think a few weeks ago, we are in a spiritual war. We are facing spiritual problems rooted in consciousness and maintained by collective ignorance. So when I mention, and again, I might have mentioned this before, when you mention the word spiritual, let's just say spirituality, or spirituality is measured in freedom. We are not free. We are being tyrannized. Rooted in consciousness, that means we need to adapt our minds in order to cope with the battlefront that we are waged within. So we need to focus our attention on how the mind works and how we can combat our own minds against the mind war that's being waged against us. But collective ignorance is a simple one. Ignorance is a measure of a lack of knowledge. So a lack of knowledge can simply be completely overridden by more knowledge, and more knowledge is the result of just doing a little bit of research, reading the right stuff and looking into the right things. As me and Nathan have pointed, and we really need to stress this: freedom under natural law can only be achieved if people understand what natural law is and have a desire to maintain a sense of freedom. So that means we have to participate in understanding natural law and actively pursuing it in the world. So it's not good enough just to know these things. We need to do about it. Nathan's also mentioned something called the Trivium method. This is one of the most important aspects of what's known as occultism. And the Trivium method is essentially how all the ancient philosophers and wise men from days gone by understood how to discover the truth, how to discover all the things that can get in the way of coming up with a sensible answer. Use the Trivium method, and it reveals the truth, reveals itself through a simple process. Again, it's not massively complicated, but perhaps not what your viewers are looking for at this juncture. So I would definitely recommend reading what the Trivium is all about. But essentially, one part of it is something called, well, let me put it in a fairly simple context: knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. 3 components. So Trivium, the root of the word is tri, i.e. 3. So 3 parts. 3 parts to lead towards truth: knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. So knowledge, knowledge is straightforward. Knowledge, you have to gain knowledge by looking into things and gaining facts and evidence. Understanding is the process of that accumulated knowledge. So you take that knowledge and churn it in your mind and, talk about it, discuss it, try things out. Then when you've got that understanding, well, that understanding leads to the third process, which is essentially wisdom. But wisdom is not just some wrinkly old man with a pointy cap who waves a stick around. Wisdom is a product of action, i.e. you put into practice, into action what you've discovered and apply that as your pathway through life. That's what is meant by wisdom. That's what wisdom actually is. And that's what we need to come to as a collective body of the truth movement. We need to be acting in wisdom.
I agree.
Yeah, mate, well said. Absolutely.
That was brilliantly said. I agree with you, because I've actually found, though, I don't know whether you found this, a lot of immaturity with truth movements. Whereas,
it's like immaturity.
Well, that's right. For example, I believe that with wisdom, I don't judge people. If I meet a person, I speak to them. If somebody tells me that person's horrible, I don't want to know. I only judge if that person's horrible to me, then yes, that person's horrible to me. But if they're not horrible to me and somebody tells me that they're horrible, I don't want to know, because it's. But and what you do find is children in the playground will believe the rumours and will believe someone telling them that this person is horrible, and that is lack of maturity. It's immaturity.
Chris, yeah. Could you say that bit again, mate? Because you got disconnected. Could you? Sorry, just to.
Yeah. What I'm going to say is that children in a playground, okay, they will believe the rumours about people, and they will believe what they're told because they're immature. Whereas maturity, you say, right, I'm not going to believe what people tell me about that person because I think that person's okay, and until that person does me a wrong deal, then that's it. That is maturity. That's wisdom. And this is the thing you find in these urban type environments, a lot of childish mentality where they will believe what other people have said. This is the problem. And with that sort of mentality, they will believe all kinds of wacky things that the powers that be are sending out as misdirections. I mean, for example, they won't believe that a silly little fella from Luton is an agent of a foreign country. Oh no, he's not. It's true, because they're gullible. They'll believe it, and that's it. And this is the problem: people not making their own minds up, but getting other people to make their minds up for them. They'll follow the crowd like cults.
That's what the news does for them, doesn't it? I listen when I'm at work. I hear people's conversations. I hear people's conversations, and they'll talk about the news and, oh, this is going on, that's going on. I think if only you understood what the news is really all about, it's all lies, basically, you'd see through it all. You know, like with the numerology that, like Steve and I have been talking about before, you see through it all, and you see through all the
That's right.
lies. It's just,
Pantomime.
it's so blatantly obvious once you see it.
You're right. Well, actually, Barefoot Foreigner says, you're so black-pilled, you lot. Stop undermining our movement. Well, it depends where you go, as I've said.
Galvanise the movement, kick it up the arse.
That's right.
Yeah.
Depends where you go. As I've said before, if you go to a rural one, you'll find a completely different atmosphere and more mature people than an urban one. There's something about the urban ones, I don't know quite what it is, whether it's home counties or what it is. They're worlds apart. They're like cults, between a cult and a group of people that's getting together to try and do something for the best.
But is it that the farmers are out in nature, whereas we're surrounded by man-made crappy buildings, for example?
Yes,
and
yes,
the
I think you're
subjects
right.
we've talked about in the end of times, we're surrounded by LED lighting, which affects how you feel. And
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think there is something in that, you know. But I mean, I think that where you are up in Newcastle and that area, and where Barefoot Foreigner is, they're probably more mature people. But if the Barefoot Foreigner or you came down here, you'd probably find a very different type of person, different attitudes. It's you know, I'm not running the groups down or anything like that, because I've been along to one. Unfortunately, it's too far away. They're bloody marvellous, really nice people, but I can't drive for a couple of hours each week to get there, you know.
Get on the bus.
What, a Sunday?
Set up today, you'll be there next week.
Yeah.
Can I make a comeback on Holly's comment there about being black-pilled? I mean, if people want to take it as a black pill, by all means, take it. But I'm not undermining the movement whatsoever. I'm trying to fight for its longevity and success. Yeah. But I can't be truthful. I can't even apply the Trivium method by saying, don't worry, lads and lasses, we've got this in the bag. I'm coming as a realist. So again, you could put a spiritual value to this, but you can say, oh, don't worry, the universe will work itself out and we'll win. Yeah, you could do that and see what happens. But let's just say where have we come in the last 5 years in terms of freedom, because this is the final product we're looking for. We want to put an end to tyranny. So in other words, the opposite of tyranny is freedom. In 5 years, have we, as truthers, or just let's just say citizens in the community, are we more free than we were 5 years ago? My answer to that is nowhere near. My answer to that, to add to it, is the level of freedom is diminishing. And as Nathan accurately put it, morality and freedom are completely proportional. So to coin a phrase known to occultists, when morality declines, freedom declines. And conversely, when morality increases, freedom increases.
Yes.
This is it. So if anyone understands the concept of order ab chaos, order out of chaos, or the other technique that they use, the evil elite use, something called solve et coagula, breakdown and reform. This is essentially the notion of build back better, which many people would have heard of. They are using the same occult principles, morality and freedom, directly proportional. They know that concept, they apply it, they understand that we as a body of people don't apply that concept because we don't understand it, because we as a body of people, even the truth community, don't understand to an adequate degree something called occultism. And when I say occultism, I mean secret or hidden knowledge of how the universe works. How the universe works is kind of comes under the broad concept of natural law, which we've mentioned. Again, we haven't defined it, we haven't detailed it, but this is something we need to know. We need to know the occult principles of natural law, because if we don't know it, we can't apply it. We can't apply the Trivium method if we haven't got the knowledge. all we can do is stumble about in the dark. That's why, if this sounds like a black pill, yes, it's a black pill, simply because we, as a body of people, no matter how lovely we all are, no matter how high our vibes are, we are stumbling about in the dark because we, A, don't have the knowledge, and B, we don't have the maintenance and selection of the aim to take that knowledge to a success which leads to freedom. I could give you the dynamics of how this works forever, but really we need to start doing some good, hardcore, honest, deep diving into the secrets of occultism in order to appreciate it and realize it. Now, I mean, if we are still looking at political and financial solutions, prepare to lose. If we are looking at any other solution that doesn't involve morality, human consciousness, and the understanding of natural law, prepare to lose. So if that's a black pill, well, I've black pilled everybody. But the only reason for that is because I want to win. And here's the secrets on how to win. We have to improve our knowledge, understanding, and output on these key areas. So before I stop speaking, I'm going to put down, and I'm going to leave this in the comments box. I'm going to mention 5 key areas that we can easily look into to improve knowledge and understanding on this. The first up is a book by Jeremy Locke, and it's called The End of All Evil. It's 97 pages long. It's only available on download because it's very expensive and very rare. The End of All Evil by Jeremy Locke. Second up is something called The Most Dangerous Superstition by Larkin Rose. And again, that's a bit of a fatter book, but it's like 9 or 10 quid on the internet. Third up is a YouTube video on various platforms. It's by Mark Passio, and it's called Natural Law.
So it's a three-part.
It's a three-part. Make sure you get the right one, because this should be about 8 hours long. So it usually comes in 3 parts. The Natural Law Seminar by Mark Passio. The last couple of options, Nathan's book, which goes into natural law to quite a large extent. And I'll be quite honest, even though I've collaborated on this, this is one of the best books available at the minute, because there's very few books out there which discuss the topics of natural law in good detail.
I'll give you the envelope tomorrow.
Finally, the last one to mention, this has just come out recently. It's known as FUNL4, Funnel 4, or Freedom Under Natural Law, Part 4, which is, again, it's a seminar probably on YouTube and other social media sites. Look into these, digest them, take that knowledge away, and trust me, you'll not be looking into Trump, Musk, aliens, religion, New Age, hippie guru stuff. You will have all the answers, and you'll realize how to apply them. So sorry to take up so much time there. I think that's an important
Not at all. Absolutely brilliant.
Just to add to that as well, people think this is difficult and that we've got to do some complicated work and get armed and all. No, you don't. Understand this. Understand what Steve's just said. Then you're on the road to freedom. Then you're on the road to victory, and that's the only way you're going to get it. Right? So listen to that. Replay it. I mean, that is so bloody pivotal, mate. You're giving me goose pimples now. I'm going to start worshipping you.
Absolutely fantastic.
Hey,
that was
just to I'm going to give both a shameless plug here. Look, we do presentations on this, and if I do say so myself, we do it bloody well. So look, if anyone's listening out there and you want us to come and explain this to people, to teach people this, we will do that. Get in touch with us, and we will come to you and teach you this stuff. It's not difficult. It's once you've clicked, it'll stay there. That's absolutely. I'm gonna get the opera Steve James. But well said, mate. And thanks, Chris, for letting us get that across. It really is that simple.
It's an honour, because quite honestly, that put goose pimples up my back as well. That was absolutely incredibly well said. Thanks a million for coming on. That really is well said, and I think people, yes, certainly.
Just very quick, that one you said about the natural law one on YouTube, who is it by?
Mark Passio.
Mark Passio, yes.
P-A-S-I-O.
Also,
That's right.
Adarek, he mentioned Lark and Rose there. And for anybody who's not familiar with Lark and Rose, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well, because he gives you straight up, no nonsense, very clear, very precise information. And you know, he's got a film out. The guy made a film, the Jones Plantation. You can actually watch this. I think you can order it through Amazon and stuff, mate. You know. Go and watch it. You'll figure out how he's showing you how the elites operate. He's showing you how it works and what they're doing and all the little tricks. Jones Plantation, Lark and Rose, Mark Passio, Funnel 4, and 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Look, you know, go and do this. It really doesn't take that long to get your head around. But you know, if it's new to you, then watch it a couple of times. Redo it. But yeah, Mark Passio, all the ones that Steve just put in chat there. Go familiarize yourself with it and you'll have victory. But remember, you've got about 4 years and 9 months to get this, because after that, you might as well adapt to your new chains, because it's going to be very difficult to get out of them at that point. So there you go. You remember, propaganda minister, we need you, right? We're looking at you, audience. We need you. And sorry to preach, but come on, guys. We're running out of time here. Let's get it done. How's that for galvanizing? Yeah, it's motivational.
Brilliant.
Okay. We're great, Phil, man. We've gone down
We've
gone down a notch.
Next week, we're going to be complete pink pills.
Do we have to dress up in a skirt and a tutu or something?
Actually, you put this in private chat, and I'm trying to get it to scroll across the bottom, but I'm having a bit of difficulty doing it. Hang on, I'll try and get rid of a few more, see if this will do it. No, it won't. It's a bit too much. I'll hang on. Copy. Bear with me a few moments. I'll just put that in. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Right, if you just bear with me, I'm going to do something a bit dangerous now. I'm trying to go into chat. It might get a bit of feedback. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it that way. Sorry.
Guys, could you, as per Mullane in the chat there, is there any chance you could come and do something down in Shropshire? Because that's where I'm based and Mullane's based, and there's a few of us.
Sorry, could you say that again, mate? It was the volumes of it.
Is there any chance I'm as per Mullane's comment in the chat, we're based in Shropshire, so is there any chance of coming in?
Coming down and doing, yeah, absolutely there is, mate. You get us a venue, discuss a time with us, and we'll be there. We'll be there.
I mean, this is what we want to do. I mean, obviously, we've got that book out, which is given the principles that people need to know of, along with many other things. But yes, we do presentations based on these topics, and again, it's quite new to a lot of people. It's quite new to a lot of people in the truth movement, and I'm not going to lie, some of it is kind of difficult in a sense because it's philosophical. And again, this isn't an insult to anybody's intelligence. It's just a case of, well, it's new information, largely new information for a lot of people. So therefore, we have to, kind of go with baby steps with some of it, so we can kind of fully understand the principles that are being discussed. But once you do understand it, trust me, the answers become crystal clear.
It's that old phrase,
spot on.
You'll seek the truth, and the truth will set you free. And this is we're telling you where to find it, and it will set you free. But we needed numbers for this one. We need more and more and more.
You're spot on.
So,
I mean, I was talking to Paul English. Last night about this? I was up quite late. Was talking about it, and that before. It is. I think everybody needs an objective, because in wars there's an objective. That is, we've got to destroy the enemy, or the enemy will destroy us. But we don't know who the enemy is in this war. Who is the enemy?
it's more a case of we're destroying ourselves internally. We've turned on our own people, if you want to call it that, because we're squabbling about this side and that belief, and put that to the side, put your beliefs to the side, and just let's grow up. It's that maturity.
I agree.
Thing. First of all, acknowledge your ego, right? Because everyone's got an ego, and that's fine.
That's right.
But control it, right? Bring it in, rein it in, and drop. Become mature. Look, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone screws up. That's human nature. Fine, get over it. Right? We haven't got the time to squabble anymore. Let's unify and focus. Let's get it done. I mean, my conscience is clear. Steve's conscience is clear. Chris, your conscience is clear. Anrak, I suspect your conscience is clear. But that doesn't mean we get to stop.
And we do what we
push this.
I do what we aspire to. Don't step out of. You see, you two are brilliant speakers. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the way you came across, you're bloody good. Now, I hope that I'm trying to make the people laugh, because I think that is a weapon. Now, it's up for other people to judge whether I make them laugh or not. I don't know. I hope I do. But the thing is, this is the thing. We've got to find out what our skills are. And this is what our enemy is doing, trying to stop our skills. Because there's an old saying, and I'm sure you're well aware of it. I'm not sure if it's Song Shu that said it or not, but it was, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah, it's close to friends.
And the other one is, now, Barefoot Forager, I agree and disagree with what you said here. You said, no, children are brilliant judges of character until they get to 13. No, up until about 7, I think. Then what happens, education takes them over. You look at kids in a playground. They'll all pick on one. They won't. But up to the age of 7, they're quite innocent. And a good example is when you look at these world leaders, Stalin, they always like to be pictured with children. The kids around him were absolutely bloody terrible, and it's so frightening. It's made you fart, isn't it? I mean, that was.
Well, exactly. I'd say that moved the share. Let's face it, we're all going. Well, it's all a fart now, whether it is or it isn't.
But
I thought you'd appreciate the fart humour, though.
Oh, beautiful, nicely done. I think it should be part of conversation. Somebody says something. Yes, but no, seriously,
just a bit of hot air,
it's up to about the age of 70. But you look at children; they can be very, very brutal in the playground over the age of 7. So I wouldn't say 13; I'd say 7 to 8 years of age.
What is it? The Jesuits used to say that give me a child at the age of 7 and I'll show you the man. I think it was for this reason. They're easy to manipulate at a certain point because of their innocence, because they don't have that knowledge and wisdom, and they're moldable. That's why they're institutionalized.
To elaborate on your point, I mean, that in fairness, that's why the education gets them before the age of 7, in order to. That's when the brain dynamics start. I mean, if you're looking at more technically, the theta stage of brainwaves stops and changes from about the age of 7. Therefore, children think differently from that very pivotal age, which is. I mean, it's written in biblical scriptures and by philosophers since the dawn of time, that understanding.
That's right.
They're indoctrinated from the age of about 3, aren't they? At the start at nursery, and we're basically programmed all the way through our lives until we get to 65, 66, and then we're allowed to retire, and there's a coffin waiting for us.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, but look at the, I'm going to say certain social media devices that kids are now hooked on, and they're getting programmed and conditioned. You're right, mate. It is younger now. Their minds belong to the media, and it's getting younger and younger and younger. And people think, oh well, it's a good babysitter while I'm doing my chores or whatever. You're allowing your children to be brainwashed by these devices and by all these media channels. So yeah, 3-year-old, it does start at 3. It starts at 2. It starts whenever your child is glued to the television, and it's horrible to watch it.
I agree with you.
Also, when you're out and about as well, I observe people a lot, and when you see like a mom will get on with a push chair with a young baby in, and just give that baby a smartphone to play with, and because they can't be asked to talk to the child or make I don't know how we got through childhood years ago without even having a smartphone of any sort. We managed
lot
to
more
entertain
gentle.
ourselves.
That's right. But actually, what's happened is Daisy's just said, Chris, details have come up on chat. Thanks, mate. You put it up. Evil, but and what I'll do at the end of the show, I'll put it in the details below. I've made a note of it, and I'll shove it in the details below here. No, not me crutch, but details below the video. You see. So now this is now we've got here. Hi, Nathan. You can contact me through Phil. Remember, from the pub.
Phil? No, I'm not familiar. I do know a Phil, but I'm not sure that we get a. I mean, you can contact me on nathanluciusphp@gmail.com. I think. If you want to get in touch, either with me or Steve, that's the way to do it. Again, we're quite happy to come and travel and teach and do seminars and podcasts, whatever. Look, this information needs to get out. So there you go. The Crankies will be on tour this summer. Thank you.
Looking at combing talks in various venues. Give the lads details and we will get presentations organised. Their talks are truly amazing.
Oh, bless her. Do I have to pay her this week or next week? I've got to pay you this week.
That's good. And also, they'll be coming along with the Wonder Pen as well. 1,000 different uses for the Wonder Pen.
Yeah,
and the Wonder Cup as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think the amount of uses for this cup?
It hurts now. It hurts. I'm truly snowflake.
Marital aid. You could use it. You can use it to wee in if you're caught short anywhere. You could use it. 1,001 uses. That's right. Yes. You say, what's your handle? Oh, here it is. There's your handle.
It's like a Swiss Army knife, really. You can use it for a number of different. You think it's a versatile cup.
Hat.
You can take it camping.
Nice hat.
Other way around. Mobile toilet.
Mobile toilet. That's right. Yes. Have you seen that? Have you seen that Irish comedy? Where there's a load of teenagers in a car. One's sitting at the back. And he said, I shouldn't have had that extra coffee. He said, yeah, I'm busting to go. He said, oh no, we're on the motorway now. What can we do? So one of the girls says, well, look, do it in this bottle, you see. And he says, oh, okay. You actually think he's going to have a pee, and suddenly he gets up, pulls his trousers down, and going, oh no. But now, True Sifa says, farting is a way of life for some. Well, yes, because if you're on a certain diet, what's that? If you're on a certain diet, sometimes it makes you fart more. But no, my one is sauerkraut, definitely. I may be on sauerkraut, and bloody Nora. I think NASA was going to contact me for rocket's power. Bloody Nora. Because I told you about I was on a show and I kept muting my microphone because.
You play London Open Glory.
I once cleared. There's a castle in Germany called Cockham Castle, and I once cleared it as the tourists were going through it because I had sauerkraut for the previous day.
I know.
That is toxic to anybody who's not familiar with sauerkraut. Well, I mean, it's tasty, but it's toxic, right? I mean, I don't think the Germans are too fond of me after that incident.
Well, actually, I found out from Miles what it does. It's clearing all the bad bacteria out of your gut. So it's actually doing a good thing when with the farts. But I met my neighbour, sort of said hello.
Would disagree with that.
But, now, Barefoot Foreigners come back and said children don't have theory of mind before 7. Yes, but they have this natural ability to warm to people and not warm to people. And a friend will be a friend.
At that point, they've still got an intuition built into them,
Now, Aunt Sally says, oh, yes, she's been in the same room as I have. One simply has to expel that excess gas or one will spontaneously combust. Personally, I love a good fart. But my own, of course. That's the reason when I went to see Miles, You were sitting in his place, and everybody else was outside the shop. That's it. Ah, you cracked it now.
So there's actually a niche market for this. Don't ask me how I know. Anyway. Yeah, you could fart in a bottle and sell it on eBay. Yeah. So for anyone who's a bit short of money and full of hot air, that's the way out. And
we should do that after our talks. We'll sell your books and ladies and gentlemen, Nathan's fart in a jar. Yeah.
We could really capitalize.
Take away farts.
Take away farts. Copyright, by the way.
Take away fart. Yeah. Yes, you could have
take
that.
away fart in a jar.
Fast fart.
You come up with farts.
You could have a fast fart. Sorry.
We could market loud farts, smelly farts. So I sound like dust till dawn at this point.
You could hire your services out, couldn't you? You could say, well, I've got a party tonight and I don't want many people to stay around there. Can you come and fart there, please, so after guests leave?
Well, we could eventually turn it into a deodorant or a candle, I mean, the possibilities are literally endless. I mean, so the
Eau de toilette.
Quite literally, in this instance, yeah.
So this looks like an interesting comment.
Yes. Now, Barefoot Forager says, is your level of freedom decreasing? No, mine isn't. Each day I'll get more skilled, more independent, more educated. But we need to motivate people as well. I 100% agree. And
I still find talking
the problem with that is... Say that again, mate.
I said I still find just chatting to people works as well. I find that I'm talking to people in supermarkets or on trains or whatever, and it's amazing how easily the conversation gets flowing, and then that gets even people who you think might not be awake, who you then learn who actually are. So, like, for example, I was coming back from Birmingham a few weeks ago on the train. It was quite full. And then I finally got off seat, and this woman was talking to me across the aisle. And I was talking about what was going on. I said about the spraying of the sky. She said, oh yeah, our family's completely awake, and all four she got 2 children and her husband and herself, and they're all 4 completely awake. I said, that's brilliant. I said, it's good to see how many people are actually waking up to this. And the hope is that when you're talking to somebody on a train, for example, that maybe somebody else further in another seat is earwigging and thinking, well, I've been thinking about that, and what they're saying is correct. And it's hopefully it's a bit of a chain reaction that people start picking up on this stuff and realise they're not on their own.
Yeah, I mean, I mean that's a great point, but I just think we need to realise that being awake is not really enough. I mean, and when I say that, what I mean to say is having knowledge of what's going on is not enough. I spoke about the Trivium, and again, not to labour the point, but let's just use it as a concept of things happening three component parts. And we've mentioned what that means in terms of the Trivium, but you can also explore that in a little bit of philosophical sense by understanding this following kind of statement: seek the truth, speak the truth, honor the truth. So let's just say that we class somebody as being awake because they are seeking the truth. Let's say they're trying to wake up their mates and educate the family by speaking the truth. But where it falls short is the third part, is not enough people are honouring the truth. If we were honouring the truth, we would honour the concept of freedom. Freedom cannot be possible. And I mean, I can't explain how this concept works in a short couple of sentences. Freedom will never, ever, ever, ever be achieved when we have the diktats of government. When we are under the legislative power and authority, the illegitimate power and authority of something called government, we will never, ever, ever be free. We will always be tyrannized, and that tyranny will always seek to continue and escalate. Always till the end of time, the end. I can't, like I say, I couldn't really explore that in just a few sentences, but I can prove that in presentations. Prove it, not just speculate, prove it. prove how that concept works. And that's what we need to start doing. The truth movement definitely needs to start honoring the truth. That means they need to actively pursue the concept of freedom and apply it into their daily existence. So going back to Holly's point, which is it's an excellent point, but I have to say I don't fundamentally agree with the first part of her statement there. She said, am I feeling free? I mean, she might feel free, but I beg to differ. Can she, for example, fly abroad without a passport? Can she drive a car without being stopped by the police if she didn't have a license? Will she attract some sort of third-party interference if she refuses to pay, let's say, council tax, for example? I mean, we can evade some of that for a period of time, but can we truly evade that and consider ourselves to be free? I don't think so personally. So therefore, freedom, is that really what we've got in our society today? Because I give presentations. My last presentation was called Transition to Tyranny. It wasn't called Transition to Freedom. It was called Transition to Tyranny, simply because that's what's being applied upon us, tyranny. And tyranny is the opposite of freedom. So
again, that's not an attack, by the way. That's you know.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're not. We are not a free people. You know, I get the idea of, you know, you're walking in your sovereignty, and I get that, and that's fine. But until you start applying this society-wide and understanding how freedom works, and how slavery works, and how natural law works, we are getting nowhere. Our freedom, we're getting hemmed in here by the, you know, passports, digital currency, digital ID. That's not freedom. That's a pen to keep you in. You know, it's try getting out of that when that's in place. It's
well. The thing is I mean, it's little things like, for example, once upon a time, very, very simple. You could drive down the road, go to your local town, park up, do whatever you want to do in the town, go to the bank, shopping or whatever, get back in your car and drive off. Now, you not only are limited to about 20 minutes, you have to keep looking at your watch all the time. You run to where you got to go and then quickly get back again. And it's ridiculous. You know, you're paid. You have to pay a fortune to park, and that's why I go by bike to the local town or catch a bus, because it's just a pain. And I don't like watching all the time. You know, I might take half an hour, I might take an hour. I don't know. It's up to me. You know, it depends on what mood I'm in. But now, Stephen Truthseeker says, and what on earth is happening? Is Mark Passio? I think he should have put an on there on YouTube.
Yeah, look, just to give Passio a plug, I hold him in the highest esteem for this stuff. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. He doesn't philosophize. He's not a theorist. He knows his stuff. Anybody who's not familiar with Mark Passio, go and please hammer seminars that he's got. Really go over it and over and over it. And he does it very, very well, concise, clear. It's the basics, but he does it. Basics is maybe not the right word, but yeah, please go and visit Mark Passio's site.
Yeah, that's his website. It's called whatonearthishappening.com.
Whateverishappening.com. Also, now this is interesting to know. Survival, as brilliant as Steve is on philosophical esoteric wisdom, his teaching on how to shit in a car is even more mind-blowing. Yes, it would be. I hope there's not a practical demonstration, you know.
I would say that was an occult practice in itself. I mean, it's...
yeah, it's just, you know, that's what that's the training I'm best at. Come on, I'll shout the shit in the car. Have you seen that demonstration?
I'm sure
she's traumatized for life, by the way.
I'm sure you could sell that bottle as Coca-Cola or something like that, just diluted down.
Dark edition.
In case anyone is interested in doing such a thing, you might need a vessel.
This is a downgrade here. I'm not.
Well,
I mean, it could be, to be fair. You know,
my fart was so strong. Look what it's done. That's the thing. You know? Now we got Hans Sully. What charming children! What delightful children! When they were little, my children used to fart in plastic sandwich bags. Not them, then burst them in each other's face. And then you use the sandwich bags afterwards.
To be fair, I mean, I think this is an industrial scale operation now, because anyone who buys pre-packaged meats, when you open the packet, the preservatives, they stink. They absolutely honk. So, you know, I'm just saying, what happened to those children? Did they go on to further things? You know, I mean, preservatives on meat packages, could be.
I guess you heard the story about a bloke I worked with who, when he was a kid, he lived around Hyde Park Barracks. And incidentally, where they often used to see Cliff Richard in a car there. So make your own mind up what that's about. And he said what they used to do as naughty little sods, used to get a paper carrier bag or paper bag and shovel up the horse shit, which there was plenty, lots of it from the Hyde Park Barracks, put it in the brown paper bag, seal it, put it on someone's step who they don't like, catch light to the paper bag, then ding their doorbell, and then they come to the door with their house slippers on. Oh, there's a fire there, and put it out. Nice.
He loves it. He loves it.
We have to find the truth before we can honour and speak the truth. Until then, we are truth seekers. Yes.
Yeah, correct.
But the thing that I notice is sometimes censorship is good because it shoots itself in the foot. Because all censorship shoots itself in the foot, because truth doesn't fear any questioning or anything like that. Only lies have to be censored. And that's why anything that's censored, I think, now I believe, all right, we censor things from young children. I think that's correct. There's certain things that young children shouldn't see until they're adults. That's correct. I believe that sort of censorship. And I also believe that what they don't do now on things is they used to have a warning saying, what we're about to show is unsuitable for children and people of a nervous disposition. They don't do that now. And that is gone.
Yeah.
And I think they should bring that back. It's not censorship. It's just self-censorship, really. Now, it says here, what is it? Now, Paul Mohammed said, too many people like jam sandwiches, but that's all they serve you. And one day you discover beef that you know is not what you know, but only what you have been taught.
I get the idea really well.
Yes. Now, it says here, trying to encourage people in the Northeast to attend the lad's presentation, try to come into energy enhancement system is frustrating. So much knowledge to gain. Suggestions, please.
We should put donations, please. I don't know.
Well, the fuckable
jokes.
farty jokes. Fuckable Times is coming out soon, hopefully. I'm writing parts for it. Now, Paul and I, we've been talking, how do we get the Fuckable Times, which is satirical and humour, but it's going to have its serious sides to it. So we've got to go from serious to comedy. It's going to be very difficult to do that transition. I know that Nexus magazine sort of does it because they have declassifieds and things like that. So we got to sort of have serious stuff. Well, I'm trying to get serious stuff through comedy, which is basically seriously funny, which is what this show is about, seriously funny. So this is my aim, to get serious through by making people laugh. And that's what brought Ceausescu down. And this is what brings these arseholes down. They don't like being laughed at. Same as they don't log out, do they? That's the thing. But yes, it is a problem. But I will put, I don't mind advertising. This, to me, we've all got to help each other. This is the thing. And
I think that's a good point. I think Daisy's raised a good point there as well, and somebody else did earlier. And in other words, getting together as groups, whatever size that might be, I think is a phenomenally good idea. Even protests. So protests, a lot of people might think, well, this isn't going to bring down the government. Yeah, you're right, it's not. But what it's going to do is bringing people together, not just bringing people on chat forums on social media accounts. It's bringing people personally and physically together where they can discuss ideas and collaborate and go for a pint afterwards, all of these good things. So anybody offering talks, for example, talks, support people who are doing talks, because that's getting people together.
Yeah,
you know, it's,
even if you look, even if you don't agree with what's being said, to just go along and have a chat. You might find you're not alone, and so
I agree with you.
Many ways of doing that.
Does you a world of good. It really does. You chat to somebody.
Actually, can just mentioning protests, saying a lot of people say it doesn't work. Well, I beg to differ, actually, because number one, again, it brings people together. Number two, the vibration. I sound new agey when I say this, but what I mean it literally. When I went to the protests in London a couple of years back, the feeling that you got, it was euphoric, right? And I'm not a people person. I don't like crowds. I don't like people generally, but the energy there is euphoric. You feel wonderful, right? And that alone lifts you. It pushes you. It motivates you. So, and also, what about the people on the sidelines looking and reading the signs and stuff like that? If we were ineffective in protest movements, they wouldn't censor it. They wouldn't deny that they're happening. They wouldn't have to lie about the numbers. So again, I understand you're never going to change a politician's mind with a protest, but you might just activate something in the people watching it, and the people there are going to get one hell of a buzz out of it.
You got a good point there. And Robert has said, Nathan is right. We are not free until they are gone. Sometimes the only way to win a game is not to play. Spot right on. And also, our enemy are I'd say the psychopaths and the narcissists. Not all psychopaths, but every country. And what they try and do, they try to divide and rule. And that's what they've done from the beginning of time. Divide and rule. Yeah. And that's why they try and put you into slots. Oh, you're a this, you're a that, you're a that, you're a this, you're a this, you're a that. I don't want to be slotted in. I'm an individual. And this is the thing. They like to put you in, oh, you're part of this community, that community. No. We're free thinkers. But the other thing that we got here, Stephen Truthseekers says, being awake isn't really about groups, website, books, videos, podcasts. It's about a spiritual process that very few go through. Very good.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Daisy said recently people can't access their bank accounts. System down. Keep cash stash. Don't rely on the card. No, rely on something beginning with G and ending with D with an O and L in the middle. That's my advice.
Until somebody tells you that it's no longer a tradable asset. I know where you're going with that, but the problem with that is it's not really an intrinsic value. Gold might be used in coinage and trade and exchange. I get that. But if the elites have this system, and I'm sorry, I know people have got a problem with the word elite, but if they put this system in place, it doesn't matter how much gold you've got, you won't be able to trade it. Nobody will be accepting it because it'll be no use to anybody. And again, I see your point. Gold could be used for a lot of things, but it's once this infrastructure is up and running, and they're not far from achieving that. I mean, completely. Gold's useless. Silver's useless.
And based on that, we are in the process of having a gold deposit collection. So please send in your gold to me and Nathan. We will look after it and dispose of it accordingly.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea.
We'll manifest it in a very positive direction.
Yeah. And Robert has said, a barefoot forager, agree with trying to gather numbers on our side of the ball. We need numbers, but these people need to be informed or they're merely followers. That's right.
Yeah,
and,
believers. Brilliant point.
Yeah.
And That is a brilliant point. That's great. You have to see how you are farmed and how profit takes over usury in front of your nose. Yeah, spot on there.
Yeah.
Daisy, now it's our next survival skill weekend in Wales in April. Steve, can you inform?
Yeah, anybody who doesn't come is not going to make it to the future. So everybody, actually, we can't take that many people, but of course I'm joking. She's asking me, it's in April. I'll be honest, I can't even remember the date. That's not a real good plug, is it? But it's a great event. It's near Betis where there's various wellness activities such as sound baths, foraging, night navigation, various other survival skills, great food, great company, and a great weekend. All in all, fantastic place. I'll be honest, I can't remember details off the top of my head, so tune in next week.
Don't worry. Next week, you'll have it in. Well, next week, the show is going to be called Sniffles. And we're going to be looking at, getting over ailments and things like that, survival, all kinds of things like that. So that's it. So you're welcome on again. Always welcome. And
Awesome.
I've got an idea. I won't mention it on air, but I've got an idea to help promote what you're doing. So there we go. Oh,
I've got another story.
the system is absolutely disgusting and cruel. They are so audacious when they were so audacious when setting it all up. Everything, and it's a word coming up which I can never pronounce. Everything from the Annum Sanctum of the Sisti Act. I can never say that. And that as well. Act 1666 are perfect examples. And and Nathan's just said from his rear end what he thinks of that act. So there we go.
There we go.
That's it.
The music department.
Slavery didn't end. It was standardised as voluntary debt servitude worldwide. Yes, I've often said slavery's never come to an end. It's just been redefined. That's all.
Yeah.
We're all slaves, aren't we?
Yes.
Happy slaves.
Because if you don't have money, you can't do anything, and you can't travel. You can't. So you are we are all slaves, basically.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
What they said about slavery is not. Well, yes, there were slaves, and it was terrible. But there were Irish slaves, and there was also European slaves that were taken back to Morocco. They used to, the pirates used to come over and capture people from villages, and enslave them in the Middle East in the 17th century, and 16th century. It was very, very common. So, it's history is, shall we say, usually used as an agenda, and that's the problem. Here we are. We've got 11th weekend, Steve. 11th weekend.
We'd like to also add to that anyone who doesn't go is just a wimp, really. I mean, if you want to really prove that you can survive,
that's right.
If you don't turn up, really, you're not a survivor.
Also, you got to bring your Wonder mug and your Wonder pen. It's your survival pen. I mean, let's face it. When you're being trained in the army, they say, "Scooby, you got your survival pen." Oh yeah, that's good. That's very good.
Survival is a great skill to learn. So I obviously teach survival in the wilderness, for example. But I think more appropriately, me and Nathan teach spiritual survival. Hardcore spiritual survival, the things we need to know to navigate clown world and come out a winner. Natural law, objective morality, the Trivium. These are great stuff to learn. So tune in for our next presentation. And if you're in the northeast, most of our presentations are in the northeast. But sounds like we've got a gig in Shropshire if
Good.
that's on the cards, we'd be delighted
Good.
to go down there.
We're just to add to that, look, we're happy to travel and spread this and get as many people involved in understanding what we're teaching. If you want to do that, if you want to put a venue together for us or collaborate with us to do that, get in touch. Let's get something sorted.
We'll have to work out where we can do that and so on. Yep.
The Walloping. Thoughts on ISAs? No, I wouldn't bother because it's a government thing, so don't shove it up their arse. Next question. No. Buy some gold sovereigns. That's the thing to buy. That's my thought, but I'm no expert on it. Anyway, I think we're about half an hour over, and I think we're beginning to wilt a bit. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. I've really thoroughly enjoyed this.
Thanks for having us.
Terrific show. Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you on, and of course you're regulars. You come on any time, and it's a shame Vixen didn't turn up in it, but never mind. That's life, innit? And what I was going to say is obviously stay on when it goes off because I've got some ideas. And what I was going to anything you'd like to say to the audience before we leave?
Yeah, tune in to next week's show and we'll continue the work. There you go. How's that?
Excellent. And Hanarak, he's Royal Hanarak.
Yeah, just say tag a like on the hit the thumbs up and hope everyone has a great week and keep positive and just enjoy life. It's all good.
To round off, whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh and good night. Thank you very much for watching the show. And if you could kindly put the thumbs up, I'd be really grateful. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. It doesn't cost you anything and it really helps a lot. And of course, if you're feeling a little bit generous, you could always buy me a coffee. Details are down in the description box. And also, why not pop in to see my Telegram channel, which again is down in the description box, which you can link onto, and Facebook as well. And thank you very much.